All right, we are live. Welcome, everybody, to the show. My name is Edward Pereira. I am your host. My co-host and good friend and business partner, Attila Hevesy, joins us. We all play a part in this play, so stay tuned. I'd like to introduce Ed Barsano, who is a 50-year programming genius. Doesn't like to be called genius, but he's created something that doesn't exist anywhere else. And everybody said he couldn't do it. As a matter of fact, his stint at Microsoft as one of the first programmers, he was in charge of the impossible department, not upgrading something that existed, but things that didn't exist. They gave it to him, and he made it exist. So,
Mhm.
and then last but not least, at the top of the pile, as I said off camera in the pregame, Crypto Casey, who is the decentralized finance cryptocurrency educating rock star. It is a real privilege that you're here to actually be able to interact with her directly. Um, she is now a good friend, and she'll get an opportunity to tell you about what she saw first as a scam, and I'll use that as a hook, and she'll tell the story. Obviously, I think she kind of likes us because she's here with us, and let me set some expectations with sharing my screen now. Let me make it presentation size. There we go. Okay.
It's coming up
Yep.
now, Edward. Yeah, there it is.
Okay. Good.
You got it.
99% of the people, as I said pregame, so I'll repeat it. Anything that you think you know about finance in the what we consider now as the traditional debt-based fiat system, most of what you learned is not true. Having spent 3 decades plus inside the matrix as a federal agent, I got to see firsthand um, what the matrix does to program you to be dependent, broke, and controlled. So if you find yourself, look at these three scenarios and just absorb them and take a mental picture and keep in your mind that 99% of the people out there fall into scenario one or two. You're either in the rat race, working to pay the bills. Period. It's great that you have a job, and if you followed along the programming, you were taught to go to school, get a job, trade time for money. But that's not really living. And if you had a choice, I'd know it would be a different scenario. And then if you husband and wife working, have some kids, and you were taught to go to school, trade time for money, and you find yourself in a position where the matrix has told you that you need to really pay attention to your credit because the better your credit, the more opportunity for you to buy things like liabilities. Now, a house, a car, all of those things are good. Everybody needs to get around and have a roof over their head, but that's not where you're going, right? It's not where you want to go. You're still working. You're still paying the bills. You're still paying a mortgage. And over time, the system says that over time you'll make money on your house. Not really. Yes, it appreciates in value and gives you some flexibility, but over time, if you pay $100,000 for a house, I know that's a stupid example because there is no $100,000 house anymore. By the time you finish paying for it, it's a $400,000 house that you paid for. That's not worth 400,000. So if you were to imagine being in scenario three, which is kind of why we're all here and looking for opportunities to make our lives, our families, and our wallets better. If you look at the one key difference and look in your life and look at the opportunities that you may have available today as to what is an income producing asset, such as a rental property, dividends on stocks. But you've got to be really, really, really healthy to have built a portfolio that at the end may pay you positive cash flow, but you end up with real estate with the three T's: trash, trouble, and toilets. Well, four tenants, right? You don't want to find yourself in that scenario. So if you work yourself towards scenario three, then you have your income producing assets. That is active cash flow. And like I said, there's only a couple ways to find it. The whole point of this exercise is to get you thinking of where you are now and where you would like to go, because what you're going to see today is the ability and opportunity of a proven, time-tested, factual-based presentation that will show you wherever you are in life to get you to scenario three.
I
So,
think the guy in scenario three found that his solution was get a divorce.
wow,
Wow.
wow,
Yeah,
Didn't
wow,
see that one
no,
coming.
where's his
wow,
wife in this picture? Come on. He
wow.
doesn't
That was hilarious.
Wow. All right. Well, that's not the
this,
direction
On
I
that
want.
note,
your mind can run wild looking at these pictures, you know.
Or maybe he's building an asset-based cash flow lifestyle so that when he meets his queen, he can provide well. So with that,
Next slide.
these are all the things
Underway.
these are all the things you're gonna see. However, just pay attention to the top four word or the four words at the top. We're gonna show you automation. Because unless you say, "Hey, I'm not busy enough, give me something else to do," most people are not in that situation. Most people don't have enough cash flow. As a matter of fact, if you're in scenario one and two, you probably experienced at some point the situation where you have more month at the end of your money instead of more money at the end of the month, end of your month. We're looking to change that. But if you're here, this is all about decentralized finance. This is all about sovereignty, 100% control that we put in your hands or you have available to you right now, and safety and security. If you know anything about the space or any good thing, somebody's tried to goof it up, and you know about all of the potential pitfalls and scams, you're going to see. You don't have to read all the words, but all five scenarios that we point out below are going to show you what's wrong with the system and how we make it better using a time-tested, proven, factual-based system. So with that last slide, and I'll turn it over to Attila. Just read the red highlights. We're not giving you tax advice, legal advice, accounting advice, financial advice. That's not us. We're not licensed to do so, and we don't do it. You are here solely for educational and informational purposes only. What you do with it is up to you. But again, I'll reinforce that everything you're going to see today is factual based. It's not we kind of think so, and we think this is going to work. We're going to show you that it has worked, and you can take advantage of it. So with that, let me turn it over to my business partner, Attila, and he'll give you some background of how his meeting quite some time ago, Mr. Barsano, is why we're all here. If that meeting never took place, you would not have this opportunity. And we, as I always say, because I love Crypto Casey, we would have never met Crypto Casey. As a matter of fact,
Yeah.
we would have never met Crypto Casey if one of her business partners had not broken rule number one, which that's a hook. So pay attention to her story when we get to her. Attila, take it away.
Yeah, thanks, Edward. That was a great intro, and my job is to explain, like Edward said, the background of how I came across Ed, and as a result, we're all here, which is pretty cool. So my background is all financial most of my life, and I don't want to bore you with the details, but in September 2020, I was in the right place at the right time, and I decided on purpose to jump in and learn all I could about this digital money revolution. Now, what does that encompass? DeFi, which is decentralized finance, blockchain, AI, crypto, NFTs, all that good stuff. And it's the best move I ever made financially, really is. I'm so blessed that I am in this space. It's almost like every morning I get up, I feel like I know the biggest secret in the world that 98% of the world just has no clue about. That's not going to last long because things are changing pretty quickly, but we're still early. And it's a very, very, very disruptive technology, this digital money revolution. In fact, it's the most disruptive that's ever come along in many, many hundreds of years, because what is it disrupting? Global finance. The entire global financial system is being rewired to be faster, cheaper, smoother, more trackable, more immutable. Everything. It's just so much more advanced. So within that, disruption that I just mentioned is another disruption, which is what we're talking about today. For the personal consumer, you and I, all of us here today, where we can now automate a portion of our financial life and literally make money while we sleep. So that's my background. And how I met Mr. Barsano is when he got out of the Navy after spending 8 years there, he did a little nuclear engineering for 2, 3 years, maybe a little longer. And then he was one of the first 350 people hired by Bill Gates at Microsoft. We're talking mid 1980s. And he did extremely well there, like Edward said, for another 8 years or so. Retired a young man, was less than 40 years of age. And fortunately for all of us today, he got his butt kicked in 2000 with the stock market crash. He lost about 60% of his net worth. Why do I say fortunately? Because he took the bull by the horns and he decided, uh-oh, he's taking notes. This is dangerous.
Only when you're speaking.
Only when I'm talking. I didn't see the pen moving when Edward was talking. Okay. So anyway, uh, so Ed said, you know what? This is obviously a rigged game. I'm going to level the playing field. So what did he do? He developed the world's first fully robotic autonomous stock market trader, again, for the average person, for the consumer, not the big boys on Wall Street. They already had things developing for that, believe me. So he just wanted people to have a fair shake without gambling to make money in your sleep autonomously. And he did that. He launched it in 2001. And then he did well. But in 2012, a buddy of mine who also knew Ed Barsano said, Attila, how would you like to make money in stock trading without learning anything about stock trading? And actually, it was a really interesting timing of his question was interesting because I had often thought about learning how to do that, but it's not my persona. I don't have the patience for what it takes to learn how to day trade stocks or any asset class. So I said, well, it doesn't sound like that could happen, but I'm, a wise man, a mentor once told me a long time ago, and this applies to all of you today, your mind is like a parachute. It only works when it's open. So I said, tell me more. What do you know? He said, well, you got to meet this guy. He's a former Microsoft programmer and he developed something you need to know about. So I spoke to Ed. After 20 minutes, I said, time out. I cried uncle and I said, I want this software. I bought the 3-year license. It worked incredibly well. And I actually helped him in marketing this for over 2 years back then. And in 2 years, we sold $16 million worth of licenses with that through that marketing company, which is pretty remarkable when you think about it. But then, partnerships are tough, and he ended up going back to being solo. And in 2018-ish, he sold out to a hedge fund. That hedge fund, by the way, had purchased a lot of licenses from Ed, okay, in the previous 5 to 10 years. So this is where the story kind of takes an interesting turn. March of 24, I'm sitting at my desk, and I was a little frustrated that day. And I said, man, I've got a great crypto portfolio I'm happy with, but I'm a cash flow guy. My parents always said cash is king when I was growing up, and so did all my parents' friends. I believe that's out the window. It's been replaced with cash flow is king. And I'm a cash flow guy. I love cash flow. So I'm sitting there going, how the heck can I successfully and safely multiply my crypto in my sleep, but in a safe way? Now, why did I say in a safe way? This is interesting. It wasn't so interesting for me back then, but within the 3 years previous to that, I had lost a lot of money in 5 different blockchain crypto cash flow projects. And why did I lose those funds? Because unfortunately, I sent my money out to a third-party wallet, third-party exchange. I lost control of it. Remember that, because in about 5 minutes, it'll all connect. Actually, like 2 minutes. So moving forward, it took about 24 hours until Ed Barsano's name popped in my head, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm sure my buddy Ed Barsano somewhere in the last 4 or 5 years developed a trader for crypto. And I still had his phone number in my iPhone. And I called him And fortunately, he did not change his phone number. So we connected. We spoke
Same
for three
phone.
hours, and he confirmed my hunch. He said, Attila, I launched this thing in April of 2021. And as soon as I did, I said, it's light years ahead of the stock trading platform. And I said, how come? And he said, four interesting things to me. Number one, he said, well, stocks trade 6.5 hours a day, 5 days a week. Crypto's 24/7, 365. That in and of itself is a big deal. That's a big advantage. And I agreed. Number two, he said, Attila, to make money in any kind of trading, whichever asset class, you need a ton of volatility. The more volatility, the better. And he said, cryptocurrency, those assets are right there in the top 10% of the most volatile in the world. But number three and number four is what really nailed it for me. He said, number three, it's not downloadable software anymore. And let me tell you, in 2012, when I bought that license, it was cumbersome to download that for 90 minutes and set it up and everything. He said it's web-based, and I didn't know what that meant exactly. So I said, can you clarify? And he said, yeah. He said, if you buy the license again, the crypto license for the trader, I'll have you connected live and you'll be trading in less than 10 minutes. And I'm like, whoa, say that again? And he said it again, and I said, I'm in. I bought the license again, and in 8.5 minutes, I was connected to my exchange. Now, folks, that was a lifetime of difference from 2012. By the way, it's pretty spectacular how this trader works today. Imagine in 2001 when he launched it, how amazing it was to the world. I mean, it was a mind blower. But number four is really what did it for me. And it should be the most important thing to all of you. And that is this. Ed said, I connected an API connection to your Coinbase or Kraken account. So Attila, you control your assets, your crypto. And that was what told me, oh my gosh, this can't get any better. It's just that the safety and security of one's funds is the most important thing really in anything you do financially. Okay, so most of you know that. And I said, Ed, we got to help you bring this to the world. So that's how we kind of got together on this again. And then we met Crypto Casey, obviously, about what how many months after that? When was this? This was March. We met her about 8 months later, and then here we are. So anyway, the bottom line is I'd like everybody to keep two things at the forefront of their minds as they go through this today and you listen. Number one, you're going to hear repeatedly, set it and forget it, 100% unattended. When we say that, we really, really mean that literally. Once you buy the software, the license, and you get connected to your Coinbase or your Kraken, there's literally nothing for you to do. I mean, you're going to go on the trader literally daily and check what it's doing just out of curiosity. That's human nature, but you don't need to do anything. This is not copy trading. You don't need to input anything. You don't need to touch the settings. Mr. Barsano will tell you later, he went from 10 screens of settings down to one. He's got those settings optimized. You don't need to touch them. Now, that's a beautiful thing. The second thing that I'd like everybody to appreciate is what this man has created for the world. Okay, listen, without anybody being an accredited investor, without anybody knowing anything about trading, without anybody knowing anything about crypto, you hardly have to know anything about computers. You could now automate a portion of your finances or as much of your finances as you'd like to, and you can make money in your sleep. And we do subscribe to the Warren Buffett theory. He said over 20 years ago, he said, if you're not making money while you sleep, you're going to work till you die. And I do believe that's true. So do all four of us here on the screen right now. So with that, enjoy the following. Mr. Barsano's got a lot of good info for us. He usually spends the first 5 minutes just straightening my sails in case I said something that wasn't 1,000% correct. But I know everything I said is factual. So I
Yeah,
can't wait to hear his notes today. Go ahead, Ed.
that's funny. Before we get started, I'm going to take a drink of my smart water.
There you go. This is brought to you by Smart
Brought to you
Water.
by Smart Water. You said I was in one of the the first 350 people at Microsoft. Wrong. One of the first 350 developers at Microsoft,
Developers.
because they
Correct.
had a lot of other people doing a lot of other things. Um,
Okay.
and so that's cool. So one of the first questions people ask me all the time is why'd you leave Microsoft? And well, I have this book here, The Breakneck Race to Create Windows NT and the Next Generation at Microsoft. Okay? I was on this team, and I just wanted to read you one quote right at the beginning, right in the introduction, and I think it says it all. It is 10:20 in the morning, and the latest build of the program, called Windows NT, is hours late. Just hours, mind you. Cutler, the leader of the team making NT, is angry about the delay. See what I mean? I mean, can you give me a break, man? I mean, I'm a few hours late. We've been working on this thing for 5 years. I'm a couple hours late, and already you're freaking out. I'm like, take a break. Anyways, I mean, it was always, your neck was always in the fire, you know. I was delivering a product once that I said I could deliver this in 6 months, and other development teams said it would take at least 3 years. So on the night before the 6 months, I'm thinking, all right, I'm actually delivering it in 6 months. And then I looked at the schedule and I noticed the one thing we didn't have on the schedule was the install program. I'm like, stop. If we ship this without an install program, nobody's gonna know how to install it. So what do you think I was doing the whole night? Writing an install program. And I still got it
Oh.
done. All right, so, and it was funny. There was one comment I wanted to make. And here, like 15 years later, this one guy that was on the team, Enzo, his name is Enzo Sciano, another Italian crazy guy. And he finds me on the internet, and he just happened to find me on the internet. We hadn't talked in 15 years. And what do you think? The first thing he says in email, how goes the war? Tell me this guy, he remembers how goes the war. So anyways, I
Hmm.
have 3 books here I wanted to just point out for all you guys who are interested in, you want to know what goes into an auto trader, things you have to know. Technical analysis from A to Z. Get the book. You can get it on eBay, probably, I don't know, $5, $8, I don't know. It's pretty old, but it's really a solid reference to all the technical indicators. If you want to know what any of the indicators are, whether they're bullish or bearish, the information right from here is what goes right into the AI. Okay, that's what it learns from. Next book, this will really blow you away. Sun Tzu's Art of War for Traders and Investors by Dean Lundell. Again, eBay. You got to read this stuff. It really talks about all the ways the market is messing with you and countering you. They're actually fighting a war, and they're showing how they're beating you in the war, the tactics they're using. Really interesting. Goes right again. These are the kind of things that are running in the back end of the auto trader that you don't even see, that the auto trader is already countering. We see it because these books exist. Next book, Mastering in the Trading Zone. This one here is really a good book, a very good read. Everybody should read this. I mean, if you're going to invest your life savings in the market, read this. It's not a hard read. It's a simple book, Mastering in the Trading Zone. It really tells you how to stick with your strategy. Don't be changing the strategy. The market's going to change, things are going to change, but the strategy is already prepared for all that. You jumping from strategy to strategy to strategy. I got 4 emails this morning. As soon as I looked in the emails, I'm looking, you know, 4 people looking at, I want to change my strategy because my coins aren't moving enough. It's like none of the coins are moving enough. Jumping from one coin to another coin is not the answer. You already have the market trapped with the coins you're in. And we'll talk about that. And the last book, You're gonna love this one. The Farmer's Almanac. This is what started it all in 1967 when I first read. I was 12 years old. I first read a Farmer's Almanac, and I'm like, I can't believe they can predict weather based on history, and and really, history. If you learn your history, then you can really see that nothing's changed. There's still everything is really the same, and we still fall for the same old tricks. Kind of like a simple thing. I'm going to say one more simple thing here. Um, when you put your money in a bank, in your mind, you're putting it there to save your money. I'm saving my money, so I'm putting it in a bank. Well, stop and think about it. You could save your money in a drawer. You can save your money by putting it under your mattress.
That's a good
You can
one.
put $200,000 in $100 bills in a small safe about this big. I know that for a fact. Um, so why put it in a bank? Is it because they're giving you interest? No. So you think you're saving your money, but in reality, let's change the phrase. You're loaning your money to the bank. That's what you're actually doing. And if you loan your money to the bank, they should pay you interest because they're loaning your money to the credit card companies who are loaning your money, out to the people at 30% interest. So if they're making 30% interest and the bank is making, I don't know how much they're getting from the credit card company, they might be getting 10 or 15%. You're the only one in that whole equation not getting anything, and you're the one with the money. Stop and think about that. The other thing is another very simple concept. Very simple. I figured this one out all the way back in 2001. If you change the name of a stop loss, some of you know what that is. For those of you who know what that is, then think about it. If you change the name of stop loss, that indicator, to lock in loss, would you really use it? So my first version of the AutoTrader when I released it in 2001 was I created an indicator called lock-in loss. And somebody called me and said, "What is this indicator, lock-in loss?" I said, "Well, that's if you bought it up here and then it went down to here and you want to lock in that loss. Then you put that in like a 5% lock-in loss." He said, "Isn't that a stop loss?" See, I didn't even understand all the terms other people were using because I created the robotic trader out of common sense. And he was telling me what a stop loss was. I said, "Oh, that sounds like the same thing, but how do you know you're stopping something that hasn't happened? Because once it went down, it already went down. You're not stopping the loss. If you want to stop the loss, stop it before it went down. All you're doing is locking in a loss." So, anyways, the Auto Trader is chock full of all kinds of cool things that are mostly behind the scenes. All of these things that in these books and all that I just showed you were actually on the outside where you could see them and you could set these indicators for all these things. And as Attila said, my original trader had 10 screens of ways to blow yourself up. I like to say that. I didn't know that at the time that I created these 10 screens that they were ways to blow yourself up until I saw people blowing themselves up all over the place. I'm like, what the heck is he doing? They're changing things. I'm like, there's no way he could have even known what that indicator is doing. Why would he change that number? But yet people were changing it. So finally I said, I'm tired of seeing people lose money. I'm going to filter all this stuff out, hide these important indicators that nobody really needs to see because they're all common sense. And let's just put on the screen the stuff people really need. One screen of settings, simple settings, and let's trap the market and let's chase the price of the coin. Let's chase the money. Don't let that market breathe without paying you. That's what I created. And that was working great for the stock market. The only problem with the stock market is prices kind of move like this. They go up and down. They graze around. I noticed you changed my name to Ed Smartwater Barsano.
Was wondering if you guys caught on to that. I
Yeah, I
I
told you.
just,
saw
well, I was
it.
looking at my hands going across, and I'm like, what is that? That's Smartwater.
Yeah, well
And
now Now crypto Casey is the crypto and DeFi rock
The
star.
crypto DeFi rock star. That's what we need, right? That's cool. So stock prices move like this. They kind of go up and down a quarter and down a quarter. Cryptos move like this. They jump around. Like the other day, it was like 10:30 in the morning, and somebody called me or texted, he texted me and he sent me this beautiful picture of his trader. And he said, "Look at this $1,500 I made this morning." And I looked at it and I noticed it was SWFTC, Swift. It jumped up 50%. And then I was thinking to myself, wait a minute, I own Swift too. So I ran to my computer and I clicked in my stock or one of my traders. I have about multiple traders. I clicked the trader that had Swift in it, and my auto trader sold off a buttload of Swift for $1,500 of profit. I'm like, cool, free money. I mean, I don't even look at my traders anymore. If you found money on the ground every day, you'd be walking with your head down looking for money. But the auto traders make so much money, randomly. I posted one time, L3, layer 3 went up 250% in one day. And I posted that on Facebook. And somebody replied back on Facebook and said, "There's no way you could have known that coin was going to do that ahead of time." And I said, "Of course not. I did not know it was going to do that. But the auto trader prepped me for that kill. The auto trader did it. I didn't do it. The auto trader bought the coin strategically as it was going lower. It was buying and selling while it was going lower, but it was strategically building more inventory. And then when it popped like that, boom, it sold all that inventory off at a profit. 25 lots, by the way, all in one day, just sold off. Boom. And here, can I share my screen? Do you mind?
Yeah, go ahead.
Is that all right?
And I've got on that same line, but I'll wait till you actually show the trader. L3 and XCN for me. I took a couple of screenshots, which shows people
Oh,
that it's not just you, it's everybody that owns the
oh,
trader.
it's everybody. Yeah, I'm no different than anyone else. My trader's no different than anyone else's. We're all the same. We're all doing the same stuff. It doesn't matter if you have $1 million or if you have $500. The robotic trader isn't going to treat you any different. The amount of money you have only decides how much money it's going to put into each trade. That's all. If you have a lot of money, it puts a lot more money into a trade. If you have less money, it puts less in. The guy with $1 million isn't getting more trades than the guy with $500. He's getting the same number of trades. So here it is. This is a perfect example here of which one is this? Swift. Ha, a couple days ago. It just jumped up like that from what is that? From 0.003 to
Yeah, change your view to from 24 hours to 1 week, and you'll see the big spike.
oh, all right. And you can see the way it jumps around. These are jump around prices. This isn't gradually grazing. People tell me people say, sometimes they'll say, my coin prices are low. The prices are so low. Should I stop it from trading? And I'm like, no. The biggest money you're going to make is what you're buying at the bottom. Everything under this line right here, look at all that inventory. If you're buying and selling in here anyways, but if you happen to have any inventory left over on a spike like this, everything below this line up here gets sold. I mean, and then look what it did then right after it did that. It dropped down and it bought again there, and then it went up here and sold, then it went down and bought again, then it went up here and sold. Buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell. Attila, what do I call the market?
An insult to humanity.
I know, I like that. I like that when people know because that's what it is. It's the biggest insult to humanity I've ever seen. It's the biggest joke. Someone once said that I'm irreverent when it comes to the market, and I had to Google that, of course, to see what he was talking about. He said what he meant is I don't respect the markets. I'm like, no. And the markets don't respect me. This is a 5-year-old game here. Give me a break. You could do this I mean, this isn't rocket science. As you get older, the problem is, see, when you're young, you're naive and all. Like I remember I used to climb trees, man. I could just go all the way to the top. I would be so high on that tree, the tree would be blowing like this in the wind, and I'd be up there, right? When I was little. I don't do that anymore. I'm afraid of heights. Now I'm afraid of heights. I never used to be afraid of dogs either until a dog took a chunk out of my arm here. I still have the scar on my forearm. Now I don't trust dogs anymore. You
Well,
know?
you don't now you don't trust the market either since it took a chunk out of your backside.
Yeah. Well, since in 2000 when they hammered me and I'm like, I wasn't doing anything wrong. I was doing the same stuff everybody was doing. I was in all the tech stocks. I was loaded up. I was doing 2-to-1 margin. Who knew what margin was? I'm like, that just means I could buy a whole lot more. I mean, I was sitting on $40 million worth of stock. Whee! And man, when everything came tumbling down, 60% of my wealth vaporized. And I said, now I see what a sucker's game this is. We're going to fix that. Because I was already retired 5 years and bored to death. So then I went back to what I love doing, programming. And then what did I discover over the next few years? I'm like, oh my God, this market's not like, this is an insult to humanity, man. This is actually free money. Boy, you hate to say it like that, but when you put free money on the internet, they go, get out of here, scammer. And I'm like, this is about as free money as you could ever ask for. They're literally throwing money at you here. I mean, look at these, man. The coin spikes down. You notice these spikes are only down instantly and then it's straight up. See that? They spike down and then the auto trader buys and then it spikes right back up and it sells what it bought down here. And you get these multiple crazy spikes. I mean, L3 is a good one. It gives you spike crazy numbers. And this down like this,
it's almost like the more manipulated it is, the more money you're making.
yeah, they're
Hallelujah.
having a ball. Yeah. BlackRock was
That's how
having
they're
a
making money, the insiders.
well, the
Well,
average guy is just getting killed. You know why? Because the average guy went all in up here, and then when it drops down here, he doesn't have any money to buy down here.
Back
And
up
he's,
the graph to what the last year, and you'll see it's probably a downtrend.
oh yeah, the trend doesn't even matter,
If
right?
you
Yeah,
bought
let's
and
think.
held. Yeah, let's see.
yeah,
This one.
If
Yeah,
I
if you
look at
bought
the
and held,
yeah,
you 95% down.
and you're just dead. If you went in up here and then it's down here, and you're just a buy and holder, and you're not trading along the way, you're not making any money at all. And then
and
what happens?
stay there for a second
That's
Okay.
because
that's like over 95% of all altcoins right now is that
yep,
trend, and
eh,
everybody's father.
yep,
And
you can
everybody's freaking out there.
yeah. Yeah, let me make a point about this about how powerful what it is you've created. One the I think we would all agree, and I'll eventually ask Casey some pointing questions about this, but we can all agree
Pressure.
by experience that the market's manipulated. What you've created, Ed, is something that allows us to sit on the shoulders of the manipulators and ride their tail, ride their coattails, and we make money whenever they make money. That's point number one. As Casey, piggybacking what Casey was saying, this is what the average chart of all altcoins looks like over the last 3 to 4 years. In this case, a 1 year scenario. So keep in mind, because I'm gonna plant a seed for everybody to pay attention to. When Ed shows his trader, and I don't know which one he's going to show, but his original trader that started in December 19th, 2021, which is the year that he released the trader, to December 19th of 2025, so a 4 year window. In a 90% down market, this exact trend, his trader made on average over time, this is fact, this is not fiction, it's not elaborated, it made over time 5x his money in 4 years in a otherwise down market. My point is, this is a buy and holder. As a matter of fact, this looks like cardiac arrest getting ready to go to a flat line if you're a buy and holder. But this is, even though you see this, everything red except for the beginning of 1 year ago, every time the market spikes, you're trading and missing thousands and thousands of sales if you don't have the trader. That puts you in a position where it literally, look at that. You're making money every day. Somebody would look at this and you could trick them with a question. Do you think you can make money in this market? The answer everybody would give is no, except for if you're educated on the trader. And to give an example, he started that particular trader that I mentioned with $200,000. It made him almost $1 million in profit in that time period. But if compared to that same $200,000, if he were a buy and holder without this trader, his account would be worth $12,000. So would you
Yeah,
like
I would have got hammered.
what would you like, $1 million in profit or an 82% loss, 92% loss, 82? I don't know. I went to public school, but it's a big difference. So anyhow, but please jump back in, Ed.
Well, what happens that those are great points. And when what happens though is, and based on like the email that I just got today, a few emails that came in this morning, my coins are the price of the coins are so low. I want to stop trading the coin that I'm in or the coins that I'm in that are doing this and jump into other coins. And I haven't had a chance to reply back to him. Maybe someone else in support will do it. Or I will when I'm done with this webinar. And try to explain to this person that you built all this beautiful inventory. You've got the market trapped in intervals from the top to the bottom. Each one of those buys that you did that you held on to, even though you're buying and selling, if it's going lower, it buy sells, buy sells, buy sells, and then if it goes lower, it holds that one and it buys and sells down here. And then if it starts to go lower, it'll hold that one and it'll buy more down here. And so you built all this beautiful inventory. Each one of these is like a toll booth. In order for the price to go back from the bottom to the top, it's got to go through all my toll booths, which means pay me, pay me, pay me, pay me, pay me, the whole way back up. And remember another very important thing when you're talking about the crypto market, and this is probably the most important thing. All these prices we're looking at, no matter which price you bought it, whether you bought it 4 years ago or you bought it now, they're all these prices are radically lower than where they're gonna be. Once
Yeah,
some of these bills go through the House, the Senate, like the Clarity Act. I
right.
was watching a YouTube video. That's another thing. I told you about these books that I read. Go to YouTube and just look for Larry Fink and or crypto, period. You know, the cell phones nowadays, you click the button and you say YouTube crypto or YouTube Bitcoin and listen to some of the stuff other people say. And it makes total sense. We are at the beginning of something so freaking big that this is where the rich get richer. Here's where most important thing for me is it doesn't matter what your job is. This is the beauty. I don't care what your job is. I don't care. You remember that thing that Edward put up there, those three charts or
Scenarios. Yep.
the three scenarios? Even if you're in scenario number one, I remember when I was in scenario number one when we first got married. I was living in an apartment. Me and my wife, we were living in an apartment for $250 a month. And let me tell you about the apartment. The kitchen sink was falling, and the owner of the building, the building came, and he shoved a 4x4 under the kitchen sink. He said, "There, that ought to hold it up."
Yeah, I
It
think
was,
a lot of us remember scenario number one.
anyways, so, I just remember the good old days. We were very happy then, because you didn't know what you didn't know
There was really
until I
nothing
went
to
to
lose because
Microsoft.
you had nothing.
What's
Say
that?
again.
When
Say
you have
again.
nothing to lose because you have nothing, it's kind of
Yeah,
a little bit peaceful
yeah,
some
it was,
level.
you were trying to advance your job, and get paid more, whatever, and so, but it wasn't until I went to Microsoft and they just handed a few $1 million worth of stock on me, just here. I'm like, what? I did not know you could make money like this. Are you kidding me?
But yeah,
That changed it all.
do you
And I'm
think you
just a
could
punk.
share one of the best visuals you have is that bucket in the well? Do you think you could share
Oh
that?
yeah, sure.
That
And
would
then
be
let's look
great.
at the trader.
All
Yeah.
right. So the bucket and the well. Here's the deal. How this came about. I happen to be teaching an AI class to a room full of developers. There were 80 people in there, 79 men, 1 woman. Who do you think was the only one asking me questions during the whole
The
presentation?
smart woman.
The woman. She was the only one. The guys were pretty much quiet. I don't know why. And but then there was a whiteboard there, and I had nothing to do with the whiteboard because I had my presentation, the stuff I was teaching on the screen. But I walked over to the whiteboard and I drew a rudimentary picture of this bucket and a well. And I just wanted, because you notice how I like to sidetrack and get off the subject and stuff. So that's what I was doing, just getting off the subject. Let's not talk about AI for a minute. Let's go over here and let me draw this picture of this bucket and a well. And I said, if the bucket has to go from the top to the bottom and get the water, and then go all the way back up to dump it out, and it can't go halfway down and then go back up because it'll be an empty bucket when it gets there. It's got to go all the way down and all the way up and dump out the water. How much water can it pump in a lifetime? And people started throwing out numbers like 1 million gallons, 1 billion gallons, 1 trillion gallons. I'm looking around. I'm looking at the woman. She has nothing, no objections. Nobody had any objections to those answers. So that I said, well, let's look at, it was stocks at the time. And I said, well, let's look at the stock market. Cryptos are way better. They move a lot more. But I said, what if the stock only has to go down a little and then go up a little? It doesn't have to go to the bottom. It doesn't have to go to the top. Just wiggle. 3% down, 3% up, give me money. 3% down, 3% up, give me money. And if it goes lower, hold those losers. Don't worry about them. Because you're going to continue pumping money no matter where it goes for the rest of your life. How much money can that pump in a lifetime? and then, of course, if you have a big move up, like watch, I'll show you in a second here, it's going to do it. It goes up, and it just sells off all the ones that it bought below it. Like we saw in the real world. Like it really does. Like what we observed here. It's exactly doing what it really does in the real world. It's just numbers going up and down. You just keep pumping money. So I said, how much money can it pump in a lifetime if it keeps doing that? And that's when the room really went silent. And I could just look around and I could see people looking up at that board and they're just, I don't, and then one guy spoke up. He goes, I mean, it was classic. He goes, there's no way that could be real. I love it. I just can't get over it. That is a beautiful answer. It's so wrong. He's so brainwashed. And see, that's the thing. Just like I didn't know you could make millions of dollars until Microsoft handed it to me. I didn't realize you could make that much money in a job. you know? I was sitting over there and I was happy to get the $55,000 a year salary they were giving me when I started. I had no idea they were going to hand me a couple $1 million worth of stock. So, I'm just saying you don't know what you don't know until you get there. They always say it that once you're rich, you'll always be rich because you don't know you can, until you have $1 million, you think it's impossible, but once you've had $1 million, then you know that it's so simple. You just, even if you lost the whole million, you just get it right back. That's why in the 2000 market crash, I figured, all right, you hurt me, but now I'm going to hurt you back. And I'm going to make you pay me 10 times more than what I lost. And that's my punishment to the market. And then I'm going to even be worse. I'm going to share it with everybody. I'm going to give everybody an AutoTrader. Now, and you picked on the wrong guy, baby, because I'm retired and I'm dangerous.
And
It's
you're
almost
bored.
criminal what I'm doing here, releasing this to the public. This is the kind of thing that normally you wouldn't release to the public. And I hear that all the time on the internet. I hear all the negative stuff, all right? There's lots of negative things people could say. They'll say, if it was real, he wouldn't be giving it to you. Why not? I've got to use the AutoTraders. I need them written. I need the code written. I need the AutoTrader running. So what's the difference if I share it with you? However, when I first started it in 2001, when I released it, who do you think was educating me along the way? How was I learning what didn't work and what did work without me having to lose a lot of money in the process? If you're sitting at home and you're creating your own trading system, what are you doing? You're trying something and you're losing your money and discovering it didn't work. And then now that's all your money you had to lose to find out one thing didn't work. Then you try another thing and then you lose all your money again. And then you try a third thing. It's like, how many times do you have to lose all your money? Whereas me, with all the thousands of people sharing with me, I could see 100 different things that didn't work. And I didn't have to lose any money in the process. And any one of us didn't have to lose our money 100 times because whatever, as I learned more, I could learn what not to do, how to counter it. Just like the corruption should I talk about the level 2 screen now, or let's go to my trader?
Yeah, let's look at the trader
All
particularly
right.
for all the new eyes that are with us. They really have no concept of the trader or the tool of what we're talking
All
about. So if
right.
you can add
Here's what we're
some
talking
elements
about.
to that.
So this is a website of your trader. This is what you bring up when you bring up your trader. You just go to any browser app and bring it up. You just go to GoBabyTrade.com and log in. And whereas your auto traders are actually running on the servers, on my servers. I've got racks of servers at a co-location center. And I don't know why I'm pointing over there. I'm picturing the servers are over there. But so inside of a huge cage, right? I'm like AT&T when you walk in there and look at my cage, you go, whoa,
Huh.
millions of dollars of infrastructure. I've been doing this 25 years, building on this infrastructure because I've been right all along and I've been getting this constant feedback saying, you're right, you're right, you're right. And I keep pumping more money into the infrastructure. And I have no competitors at all. In 25 years, I literally have no competitors. Nobody could even fathom an auto trader that runs 100% by itself 24 hours a day. And to me, it was just common sense. I didn't even think I was doing anything unusual. But then I was slowly getting people were, the feedback I was getting, I'm like, really? Nobody even ever thought about running an auto trader by letting the computer do it? Computers are so powerful, I can't believe that people aren't using them. Oh, yeah, I know what they're doing with their computers. They're checking their email and they're going to Facebook. All right. Wow. We got mainframes on our desk and we're checking our email and Facebook looking for likes. What a waste of time. Anyways, especially with this kind of computing power. I mean, this is insanity, man. We put a man on the moon in 1969 with no computer. Can you imagine that? That ship went up with no computer on it. If it had a computer on it, it would have been as big as a house. And now we have 1,000 times the power of computers back then right here on our laptops. So don't think this can't be done. Computers are, the computing power is massive. Anyways, so on the left here it shows live trading. You have videos on every page that talk about the whole page. And that's me. If you want to hear me talk more, click on the videos. The account value, profits taken today. I didn't even notice this. I took $106. All right, thank you. What if you walked out your front door and you just found $100 right there on the ground? Who out there wouldn't be happy? You know why? Know why I know you'd be happy? I happen to have my wallet on me. I found this dollar on the ground a few months ago, and I still think about it. And I put it in my wallet. Like that's important. That $1 I found on the ground, $1, and my auto trader just takes thousands of dollars a month, free money out of the market, like candy, like nothing, for free. I don't even do anything. I mean, it shows down here, it took this position, it took $106, it closed Dogecoin. Then it bought it back. Here it says added to declining position AI. It says AI got involved in that trade. It said, hold on, don't buy it yet. It's going lower. And that's what AI can do. The AI that I have built into the traders, it says here, it says added to declining position, added while it was going down, but AI didn't say it was going to go lower, so it just bought it. But if AI says it's going to go lower, then the auto trader will hold off on buying it until it goes lower, and that's what the AI is. That's why it's showing AI on there, to let you know that AI got involved in that trade. And you can, here's some here, like profit goal reached in AI. That means the position went higher, and the software said, I want to take that profit now because I own it down here, and the price just went up here. So when it goes up a little, the auto trader says, I want to take that profit, lock in that profit. But the AI said, hold on, don't take the profit yet because the price is going to go higher. Wait. And so the AI can predict about 30 minutes out. It really can't tell you what it's going to do by tomorrow or anything. Nobody could forecast what a coin is going to do a day in advance. And if they say they can, they're lying. And if anybody guarantees you monthly returns and that kind of stuff, they're all lying because nobody knows what the market's going to do. It's all your money. The amount of money taken is all based on the market making moves up and down. Is it making moves? Is the positions going higher? If it's not, you don't know that these wiggles are going to happen until they happen. So nobody could tell you a day in advance what a coin's going to do. These are just things you should look at on the internet or any of these other bots that are out there that came out last week. And they don't know. An important aspect about creating a robotic trader that really everybody should take note of. If you don't know how to make money in the market and you create a robotic trader, a bot, then all you're going to do is automate losing strategies. Because you can't automate winning strategies if you don't even have a winning strategy. See? More common sense. Stop and think about it. All those bots out there that they never existed until a couple of years ago. For the first 21 years, I was only doing stocks. I had no competitors. There were no bots other than mine. Even TD Ameritrade called me in 2006 out of the blue. I just got that phone call and said, hey, Ed, will you connect your robotic trader to us so our clients can use it? And my question right away is, how do you even know me? I don't advertise. I'm just word of mouth. Use clients sharing with other clients. And his answer was, you're real. Isn't that cool? And my response back was, you're right, I am real. I'm not playing. I told him I'm not playing. So for a conglomerate, that's important. Now that feeds into my ego, right? That feeds into my confidence. That's to know that I'm doing the right thing when that kind of stuff happens. When somebody like that big would come and say, connect your auto trader to us so our million users can use it. That's cool. So I was always getting that constant feedback through the years, which made me keep pushing forward, making it better, making it grind out more money, and doing it safely with protection, money management, and risk management. Actually, I was amazed. This Sun Tzu's Art of War talks about money management and risk management. This Mastering the Trading in the Trading Zone talks about those exact phrases, money management and risk management. Critical. Without those two things, you're just a buy and holder, and all you're going to do is just get hammered when a coin goes lower. You're going to have to wait for it to go all the way back up to break even, whereas we could pump money down here at the bottom forever. And that's another thing, mathematically. You really got to think about it mathematically. It's so simple if you think about it mathematically. A coin can only drop, worst case scenario, the company goes out of business. It can only drop 100%. It's a number. It's a finite number. 100. That's it. It can only drop 100%. But I could take profits in perpetuity. I could take 15,000% in profits. I could take 100,000% in profits. I could take profits until the day I die, which in my case is probably about 40 or 50 years from now. I could take profits forever, literally forever, and they can't stop me. It's almost criminal. But I didn't create I didn't create the stock market or the crypto market. I didn't make it insultingly simple. They did. Now, of course, then they flood the internet and they flood the space with all this misinformation, trading classes taught by people who aren't even in the market. They're lying. They're up there because I've sat in some of those trading classes and just listened to the guy, and I'm like, dear Lord, if you did what he's just said to do, you would just be a loser all day long. I could just sit in there and just listen to the stuff. I'm like, dear Lord, there's no way that guy is making money in the market. He is lying, but the people don't know, and then they sign up for those programs. And, what happened a couple months ago, or maybe a month ago, when all the coins dropped 7% in one day. Stop and think about it. Every coin in one day went 7%, minus 7%, minus 7%. Every coin going down the list of all these coins right here. Today's move, it said minus 7, minus 7, minus 7, minus 7, minus 8, minus 8, minus 8, minus 7, minus 7. So the first thing I thought when I saw that in the morning, I looked at that. The first thing I said to myself is institutional behavior. That's not Mon Pa Kettle. That's not individual traders making the entire market drop 7%. That consistent. So then the next question I asked myself, since I knew then that's all right, that's BlackRock, Vanguard, Fidelity, that's all the big guys. They all band together. Sounds illegal, but apparently they're allowed to do it. Well, since Vanguard is owned by BlackRock, I guess they could tell Vanguard what to do. But are you really telling all the companies to push these coins down exactly 7%? I guess they could talk together, privately. And so the next question I said is why 7%? What's magical about minus 7%? What did we talk about earlier? Stop loss.
Yeah, show them
How
the L2
many,
screen.
pardon me?
Show them the L2 screen so they can see like how they're making
No.
money from pretty much a baseline
Oh,
that they're showing their cards at a casino. If you're playing poker, they see exactly what's going on.
oh yeah. They know exactly. They know. These are orders. This is the level 2 screen. These are actual physical orders out there. Like this one, look at the second one. Well, it went away. It was $1. That was clearly a fake order. Um, but you put your orders out here. If you want to buy, if you want to sell, and these are sellers saying, look at this here, $1.10. Look at these two on the bottom, both $1.10. Those are fake orders when you see orders that small. Nobody's trading in $1's worth of Dogecoin. That's crazy. These are fake orders just to manipulate that price so that you have to, if you're selling or if you're buying, you're going to have to jump above those and the price goes higher with each one of these lines going up. So they could put a lot of fake orders out here. So when they pushed it down 7% on every coin, all those stop losses of everyone that had a stop loss of 3%, 4%, 5%, 6%, 7%, they automatically sold. All those stop losses automatically went in. And when that happened, who do you think was on the other end of that equation doing all the buy-in?
The manipulators.
BlackRock.
The same people that pushed it down 7% were sucking up those shares like crazy. Because what did they do the next day? They announced that they're stopping the withdrawals of a bunch of their funds. You know why? What does that tell you? They ran out of money. They used it all up the day before. So my feeling is this. BlackRock is sitting on $100 billion worth of crypto. It's not a made-up number. 65 billion in Bitcoin, 35 billion in all the other altcoins. They own everything. They own the world, man. God, they must own 3% of Microsoft and 3% of every company out there. Okay? So they own just enough to not be a monopoly, right? But they own them all. They're on the voting board of every company. So the thing is, what did the amateurs do? They put their stop losses in and all they did is lose money. Now, BlackRock is sitting on $100 billion worth of crypto. And they got a ton of overhead, man. Thousands of employees. And these coin prices are rock bottom, at the bottom. Down over 94% over the last 5 years. So if you bought it up there 5 years ago and the price is all the way down here and you were just a buy and holder without doing money management so you could continue trading, if you went in at the top and you let it go all the way down 94%, you are just, and you're dead, because until that coin goes all the way back up, you're not going to make a dime. You won't even break even until it goes all the way back up. With us, we're already, profit-wise, we're way up here already. We already made back all these, whatever we're down, we've already made back in profits, because as it was going down, we were just taking profits. So we were never really far from the top where it was at. So while it was wiggling around, we're always hanging around up here, because the profits, when you save your profits, this is the money management down here in the lower left. When you save your profits, it holds your account value up. So you're always staying near, near the top, and you keep pushing up. Look at, here's a perfect example, like my alchemy pay at the top here, ACH. I've taken 155,000 in closed positions. That's the profits taken. But I'm down 100,000 in my open inventory, and this coin is down 94%. But I'm actually net profitable. So I'm actually, even though the coin's down here, my profit has got me above where I went in. I'm still above where I went in. Whereas if you were a buy and holder, you're 94% down. Your $100 is only worth $6, right now. Whereas my $100 is worth more than 100. My initial entry into that coin. So you want to always, that's what the AutoTrader is about. And you can look at the manipulation. I did bring up, let me bring this down for a second. I want to show you what they can do with the level 2 data.
Keep this brief, because the average person really doesn't need to know about this. They just
Well,
need
this
to
is the
know.
last thing I'm going to say on it.
No, I know. I'm just saying they need to know how this levels the playing field, because the big boys on Wall Street, use this to their advantage. And now people can own a trader with this is a major advantage.
Well, not only do they know what you're doing, but they can also muddy up the field. They can also put fake data out there.
Right.
Like, there's no way this $1.26, this is $1.26. If you look at shares times price of that order, these are $1.26 orders. If you're selling, say I want to buy 1,000 shares, or $1,000 worth, or even $100 worth, even if I bought all these people that want to sell, if I bought all these, I still wouldn't have my $100 worth. How high does the price have to go? Because as you go higher, the price is getting higher and higher. So how high does it have to go before I can get filled? My AutoTrader, my AI is smart enough to look at that and say, that's all fake. I'm not even going to jump into that. I'm not even going to put an order out for that, because I'm not going to get filled, and I wouldn't want to get filled with all these fake orders out there. So I just thought I'd share that, what the level 2 can do. But people don't realize what's going on there, that's happening. The AI does know what's happening. You can't live. I couldn't live without the AI. So this shows you how much money I made today so far, how much money in the last 30 days, the total profit taken since 2023, 378,000. Now, I didn't take that all at once. I took 147 on that trade, $53 on that one, 126 on that one. You can just go down the list and see all the profits taken in small amounts. Just like if you had a 7-Eleven, everybody knows this, you've all heard me say it 100 times. You can't sell $50 bags of potato chips. You can only sell what the market will bear. And what the market will bear is $2 bags of potato chips full of air. That whole bag is full of air. But this is what the market will bear, $2 bags. You can't sell $50 bags. The name of the game is sell a lot of $2 bags. Okay? So some people say, I want to make this much every day. Again, you can't do that. It's up to the market to decide what you're going to make. Because are you going to make money today at all? Really? this coin's down 6%. You're not going to make money on that today. You could buy it today while it's lower, but you're not going to make money on it. You're not going to sell it today because it's not up. I mean, I bought some Doge today, and and I sold Doge today also, for that $106. I mean, the software did it. I didn't do it. But you can see how much they're up or down. And if the coin, you can see these coins aren't moving. If you're trading on 3% drops or taking profits on 3% moves, plus the AutoTrader adds the trading fee to that, so you're going for like 3.5%, you can see they're not moving enough to give you that profit. This one was higher, so at the time, so it was at 102.58 when it sold. It's at 101.97 now. So it went down after it sold it profitably. I can click on the plus to expand that, and it actually shows you the line, the one that sold. Here's the one that sold. It was up 4.78% for that $106 profit. And then it bought it back again. And that one that it bought back is down 1.69%. That's fine. But they can never wiggle without us buying and selling, buying and selling. And so what else do we have here? We have the current symbol. You can click on the plus to see the individual lots that you own. Today's move, the current price of the coin, the total quantity you own, the value of your inventory. If you sold it right now, that's how much if I sold all that, if I click that close button there on the right, I would get $60,000 and $175 from that. My open positions, that's the inventory. That's just, you just have inventory. You can't have a 7-Eleven with no product on the shelf. You always have to have inventory. Now, that's another thing about when you're doing manual trading. This is where people make mistakes. I know, think of your mental state when you're doing a manual trade. In your mind, you want to jump in when things are going up. You're thinking, I'm going to buy that coin right now and it's going to go straight up. That's what you're doing, looking at all your charts. The AutoTrader's not doing that. The AutoTrader is playing the long game. The AutoTrader's mission is to trap the market, so that the market can't breathe without giving you money. So the AutoTrader wants to build inventory, because think of it, when a coin goes lower and you buy, this is empowering now. I want everybody to think of this. When you buy a coin, at the instant you bought that coin, nobody in the world can make money on that coin unless they wiggle that price higher. If they don't wiggle it higher, then nobody's making money. It's just sitting there, same as you. And if they want to go lower, we'll buy more. The software will buy more at a lower price now. Now we just lowered the price. And now nobody in the world can make money unless they wiggle that one. It's got to go higher to make, what I've done is I've said no more free ride for the big guys. You guys want to play around and push the prices down and buy at lower prices. What they do is they scare everybody else out, and you allow them to buy at these lower prices, and then they push it up and they make money and you don't, because you sold out. The AutoTrader won't sell out. The AutoTrader won't give in for a penny. The lowest price we buy that coin at, nobody can ever raise that price now for the existence of that coin forever. For the rest of that coin's existence, they can never raise that price even 3% without giving me money. I'm the tax man. I love it.
The rent collector.
What was that,
So
Casey?
you're the rent collector.
I'm
Except
evil.
it's more than every 30 days. It's like could be a couple times a day.
I mean, I'm just evil, yeah. And I call these like landmines or tow booths. When
Bear
I own
traps.
all this inventory, they can never go up there again. These prices are stuck at the bottom forever. And let me tell you something. I've been watching BlackRock for years now, for the last 5 years. They've been pushing these coins. They were having a grand old time pushing the coins lower and scaring the public out. And how do I know they're scaring the public out? Because I mention crypto everywhere I go. And people tell me, yeah, I lost everything, I sold out. How did you lose everything? Well, I bought Bitcoin at 60,000, and then it dropped to 30,000, and I panicked and sold it at 30,000. And then it went to 120,000, but he was out already. He sold out at the bottom. Never sell. This auto trader will never sell at the bottom. This auto trader will never sell at a loss, period. You know, they gotta pay me forever.
So I like the toll booth analogy, but have you talked about the like the school bus going through a 7-Eleven?
All right, no, I haven't said that.
Okay,
It's
so
a
here's what's
perfect
interesting about this.
example.
Here's what's interesting about this analogy, because some people are like, "Oh, I'm gonna wait while prices are low. I'm gonna wait to get in." But if you have
Oh, I've heard that.
inventory on shelves, go ahead and go on with the analogy. But this is a testament to like having quantity, not just having a toll booth, but having a quantity. This is like a good kind of balance, in my opinion.
Right. Well, you can't, what you don't want to do if you own a 7-Eleven or a Quick Mart, any of those stores all over the world. I know people are from all over the world. You might know what a 7-Eleven is. It's just a convenience store, um, a small store. And you wouldn't fill up your shelves in your 7-Eleven and then lock the doors because that's what you're doing. You know, if you, you don't want you always want to be turning inventory. So you open the doors and let the people in. And you wouldn't want to have empty shelves in your store either. Or when I walk into a store, and I'm going to mess with your heads a little because for the rest of your life you may start thinking the way I think. When I walk into a store, my DNA automatically makes I just spot an empty shelf as soon as I walk through that door. And I think to myself, wow, they could put anything on that shelf. Put smart waters on that shelf and you'll sell them. You know why? Because you got 10,000 people walking past that shelf every day. Put something on that shelf. There should never be an empty shelf in a store. You put product on the shelf and you sell it. That's how the world works. That's how commerce works. That's how it's worked 5,000 years ago with the Egyptians and everything, all the way back. I still want to watch that Neanderthal movie because I want to see if they have commerce back then. I haven't, it's on YouTube, I think, or Netflix. Um, I want to see what kind of commerce they had. But when I walk into a store, I spot empty shelves right away and see that's a fault. That shouldn't be. And then the other thing I notice is the employees. Are they refilling the shelves? If I go to a Trader Joe's or a Whole Foods, those stores, I see while I'm taking the oysters 10 cans at a time off the shelf. There was one time I was literally reaching over the guy that was filling the oyster shelf while I was taking 10 cans off of it. He's putting more cans back on. They're refilling the shelves in the middle of the day. You got to always have inventory. So
Hey,
when you're thinking about buying a coin, buying something, don't just jump in because you want it. You don't own any inventory and you're only waiting for it to go up and you're missing 1,000 wiggles in the meantime.
Ed, you think we could get to a lot of people ask us, it's pretty common to hear the question of what kind of money should I start with, or do I have to start with? Well, you don't have to start with anything, but you've got those top 50 traders. That's such a good report because it shows all different people coming in with all different amounts.
Right.
And
And that's
by the way, this is very important. So let me stress this to everybody that's new. Before you even pull the trigger, when we say, and Casey says DYOR, that stands for do your own research. This is where you do it. This is Casey's link. So you've got a
oh
link
yeah,
at the
type
top
that
here.
in up at the top.
Nope,
Yeah,
I've got it. You can live click it right in the chat.
yeah, you could click on videos, you could click on top traders, which Ed Barsano's about to do. You could go to highest trade counts, you could go to a sample trader, which is actually a live trader. So you could do all your research literally just by going to Casey's purchase link before you pull the trigger. It's great.
And it lowers your price by 1,000 if you do use that link,
Right,
Casey's
right.
link. Thank
Yep.
you, Casey, for that.
Oh, thank you.
We're just trying to help everybody, right? You've been helping people for how many years?
Almost 9 in June.
Wow.
Next year will be 10.
My math is real easy because I started in 2000.
Oh,
So
there
it's
you go.
26 years.
Yep.
So yeah, and and it's a lot of fun, helping everybody.
Okay,
Um,
explain this,
so
please.
this is the top trader report, and what's important here is how much money did I start with, and how much did I make? How much profits did I make? Physical money taken off the table that I could do whatever I want with. I don't have to wait for statements to come in the mail or any of that baloney. This is physical money actually made on a trade where you can just take it after fees. So, and this is a 1 year report. Now, why a 1 year report and not a 1 day report or a 1 week report?
Huh.
Because you got to wait for movement. You got to, let the market do what it's doing. Don't feel like, I got to know what I made last week. Sometimes somebody will send an email, a perspective, maybe someone that's going to sign up and say, tell me how much I'm going to make in a month. I don't know. That's up to the market. Nobody in the world knows the answer to that. I know that these coins are going to wiggle for the rest of my life, and I know that I guaranteed can't lose as long as they don't go out of business. I could trade Microsoft till I die. I know they're not going to go out of business. Bank of America is not going to go out of business. Silver, SLV in the stock markets, silver's not going to go out of business. Trade it forever. It's just wiggles up and down. It's free money when you do it right. And
Hmm.
and and you are able to counter a lot of the corruption in the market because you're not really, a lot of times the price you see on the website is here, maybe the best price, but with all the fake orders they're putting in ahead of you, where you're really going to buy is you would end up paying something up here, a much higher price. So if you bought it up there and the price is really down here, then you're already a loser to start out, because then the price has got to go all the way back up there. But the software counter prevents that stuff. Sometimes you'll see on your screen, I'll just show you real fast. I don't know if I can see any, but sometimes you'll see, order submitted and then order canceled. It'll actually say order canceled because you weren't going to get filled at a reasonable price. You weren't going to get filled at, this is the best ask price right here. And if I'm going to get filled at 0.007 or some higher number because of all the fake baloney they're putting out on that level 2 screen, the software is not going to submit that order and make you pay a ridiculously high price. So the software, there's so much built into the software that protects you. But what this report does is it shows you how much they started with and how much they made in profits in 1 year. Tell me Warren Buffett wouldn't be all over me. I'm still waiting for that call from Warren Buffett when he sees this, because he never talks about making 289% in a year. I mean, you put your money in a bank. How much money do you make, Edward, in a bank?
Point
I don't
oh
even
three
know.
to 0.06%. It's well, yeah.
On
If you
average.
look at the larger picture, I always say last year the analysis that we did was that from in the entire year of 2025, the purchasing power of your dollar, considering inflation and deflation or debasement, where they're printing money, left and right, by the way, made up money out of thin air, you lost 15% of your purchasing value. Take that and add it to the 0.03% that they're paying you to loan your money to the bank so they can send it back to you and loan it to you for 30%. It's kind of a rigged game.
Yeah, I mean, nobody makes money. I don't know of any investment where you can put in $1,000 and actually more than double your money, and take another $1,900 in profit. That's almost a 200% return. And this screen, what is the thing about this screen? When I first released this screen, it was full of a lot of the top traders, the higher account values, people that, $1 million accounts, $500,000 accounts. It was just $1.5 million accounts. And then the criticism that I got, or the feedback, if you will, people said, well, I don't have $1 million, so I can't use this. And I said, no, 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 you don't understand. people with a lot less are using the system, but the ones with big money happen to be filling the screen. So I got rid of the big money out off the screen so you could see what normal people are actually making. And then I also, about this screen that's important, is if you do a manual trade, it won't show up on here because I need to know, I want to show what actual full automation did, not what manual traders did. Okay? Because I don't know what's going on if you're hitting manual buttons, buying and selling on your own. So this is full automation. And you can go down, and this guy only started with $623. Now, you might ask the question, because I've gotten the question, so some people have asked it. How come he paid $3,500 for software, and then he only invested $623 to trade with? Well, I'll tell you what they do. Number one, even if you did that, the education you get from watching it would change your life forever. And then later on, when you do have big money, you know where to put it because you know it works. The other thing is some people start with a small amount and they watch what it's doing. And then they go and then they start doing crazy stuff to put money in their accounts. Because once you get it, once you see what this AutoTrader does, and I'm only speaking from feedback from what everybody's doing, you start going crazy trying to find money to put in your AutoTrader. I've had people say they took the early buyout. Microsoft just announced that they're doing early buyouts for the first time, retirement buyouts. And like I know someone that worked at AT&T, and for years he's an older guy, and obviously if he was there for 20, 30 years, and they're trying to buy him out so they could hire younger people at lower salaries, right? And finally, he took the buyout, and his reasoning was that he said his AutoTrader makes more money every month than he makes on his job. So then it's like, why am I working if I have
Hey,
an
Ed,
AutoTrader making that much?
Ed, we also have a very popular question that always comes up. How do I pick my coins? How does that happen? Can you show the highest trade count, which Edward
Oh
has
yeah,
named the $1 billion report for good reason?
Edward calls it the $1 billion report. But you can click on view details on any one of these and see what coins they're trading.
Right.
And you can see their profit goal is 5%, adding on 5% drops.
Hmm.
So, you can see the coins these people are trading. I don't know what that is. Oh, none. I don't know what happened here. He might have I don't know why this is today. It doesn't show what he did all year. That's the thing. You can only see what he's trading right now. But I can tell you, this person's trading all these coins still. ACH, Doge, GRT, SHIB, Swift. He had a good day the other day. We took 50% profit. But you can see what the top traders are doing. But yeah, the highest counts report. And again, these things are right on your menu in your trader. You can click on the menu on the upper right of the trader, and you can see highest trade counts.
And I think you can
And
see it just on the website too, if you haven't signed
oh
up.
yeah, right. It's right. Right here.
Trade counts.
Trade counts. Yeah. And if I click it on here, I'll do it here. Open link in new tab. There it is right here. So you can see it right here too. But I'm going to go to the one that we have internally. Internally, we have a field that you don't see on the website, and that is the percent of traders. We don't show that on the website version for public people outside to know what percent of GoBabyTrade users are in each coin. I don't feel like I need to make that public. But if you have an AutoTrader, you can see it. But what this does is this is similar to a report that you might get if you were opening a 7-Eleven. You would say, "Show me all the products that I can sell in my 7-Eleven, and I want the ones that sell the most, the biggest movers." And this shows you like the previous year's closed trades, how many trades. And when I say these are profitable, every closed trade is a profitable trade. So 1,626 trades, closed trades, profitable trades in a year. 1,603, 1,584. These are big moving items, if you will. If this was a
And
7-Eleven,
oh, go
these
ahead.
are your monster drinks and your Cokes and your potato chips. And you know where you're going to find, see this little bottle I have? Thanks to Kathy Jagiello. She
Yeah.
gave me this, a bottle of iodine, because she heard me in my webinars talk about you're not going to find iodine in a 7-Eleven. And
Go
if
to
you did,
Bitcoin. Go to Bitcoin. You'll see how much it's moving.
oh yeah, you hate to say Bitcoin,
I
right?
know, but it's
But it's a
not
great
moving
point
that
though.
much.
If you were trading Bitcoin, it's on line 458. On 3% moves, you would have got 167 trades last year. And you can see only 8% of 8% of GoBabyTrade users are trading Bitcoin. If I could sort this list and say, show me the percent of traders in each coin, it shows you the biggest ones. 37% of the GoBabyTrade clients are trading SUI. 34% are in ACH. 29% are in XCN. XCN went up 50% last week in one day. I love it. I mean, that's what I mean. The software preps you for the kill. And when you got all that inventory, it's not like you have one lot that went up 50%. In my case, I had 50 lots of XCN in my inventory, and 25 of those lots sold off, half of them. I love it. All that, thousands of dollars of free money. And so 29% own Bonk. 26% of GoBabyTraders are trading Peppy. I mean, if you signed up and just went to this screen and said, give me these top 5 coins, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, trade those 5, you're done. That's how you pick your coins, folks. I have no loyalty to Microsoft. I'm not going to go look down there for loyalty to other companies. I'm just going to say, what are the top movers that everybody in GoBabyTrade is trading? Because they know better, because they've been making money like crazy. That's why they're in these coins. These are the these are the top 5. I would just grab them and trade them. And,
Yep.
a lot of people do that. When you
Ed,
first sign up, oh, go ahead, Edward Attila.
no. Well, we have a ton of Q&A, so like more questions than we've had in a very long time. So do you mind wrapping it up, like your portion, wrap it up, and then we'll go to
Okay.
the Q&A?
Well, the one thing you can do also with this report is you can say switch to 1% moves instead of 3% moves. When you go to 1% moves, it gets in and out a lot quicker than the 3% moves that go like that. 1% moves are doing this. Switch to 1% prices. 8,000 closed trades in a year. 7,792 closed trades in a year. 7,321. I mean, what is that? What is 8,000 divided by 365 days? What is that, 10 a day? Something like that? 9? I mean, it's
21,
crazy.
21.92 per day.
21 trades a day on average. Now, you're not going to get 21 trades each day, but you might get 21 trades one day and 75 trades the next day. But 1% moves. It's up to the coins to make their moves.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Yep.
Um, so
Listen,
it's up to the market. But
can
yeah,
I
I mean,
can I quickly follow you, borrow the screen, and I'm going to show just a couple of screenshots so that they can see the XEN and L3. I'm going to show you what's happened in one of my accounts in the last
oh
couple
yeah,
of days.
you wanna
Yep.
share you want me to unshare? I'll
Yep.
stop sharing.
Yep,
Go
and
for it.
and and no problem. Then I want to open it up to a couple of questions to Casey, and then we'll move into the Q&A. And you're right, we're seeing a lot of new faces. Thank you again for joining us, and lots of questions, which is always good. You'll be happy to hear it. And if anybody that can't stick around for all the Q&A, you'll get the recording. It's not a problem. So let me share my
And we'll be
screen,
here next Wednesday too. So
and we'll be here. Well, we'll actually be here Saturday as well.
Oh
Hey.
yeah, this Saturday. I love
Yep.
it. Thank you.
are we
Yep.
doing Saturday again?
Well, we are
All right,
at
that's
your
cool. I'm
at your
here.
request. All right, so look at the date. That was 2 days ago. This is one of my accounts. This is actually my nonprofit account. So talk about the power of compounding money. The very, very generous people that donate to our nonprofit. What's the best way that we can thank them? Multiply the money and serve more people to give them a hand up, not a handout. So you can see just XEN's pattern. That was a couple of days ago. Let
Oh, could I
me.
see that again? I didn't quite catch that. I'm
Yeah, I'll
sorry.
give you. Let's see, XCN. There we go. Um, so, and what's remarkable? So
I
this
don't
was.
see it.
Um, you
Oh,
should
there
see
it
it.
is.
Yep, you should see it.
Oh yeah,
Not not.
that one big pop a couple days ago. Yeah,
So,
that
so
was
here's
beautiful.
what I want you to pay attention to. While I was sleeping, all of these closed out immediately at 1:23 a.m.
Wow. Look at that.
Yep.
Yeah, I
Holy
know.
cow.
Is that yours?
Yeah. That's my nonprofit account. Yep.
Okay,
And
got it.
let me
Nice.
hold
Like
on.
I
Let me.
said, an insult to humanity.
Well, I mean,
Pretty
listen.
funny.
There's nothing that speaks louder than fact.
Yep.
So here's another one. Look at the date. What's today?
It's not up
29.
yet. Oh, there it is.
Okay.
Oh, isn't that today?
No,
No,
that
that was
was
Yeah.
yesterday.
yesterday.
Oh,
Yeah.
So
okay.
I was up, but I was living life at 8 o'clock, 8:52, 10:20, 10:52, getting ready for bed. I didn't even see this till the next morning. But wait, there's more.
Hmm.
Wow.
I mean, it's just
Okay.
the market is just numbers going up and down, and the auto trader takes advantage of it.
There you
Hmm.
go. This is L3, same L3. What? Look, it's the same date, right? At
And
4:13 in
usually,
the morning, all blown
usually they
out.
all move at the same time. So what's nice is that you have little waterfalls of profit. It's like the
Well,
school bus is coming in on a field from a field trip or something.
that's school buses coming in. They
Yeah.
all they all bought potato chips.
Well, it's
Mhm.
what I was saying about the 7-Eleven. It's the perfect screen to show that. If you have one bag of potato chips on the shelf and a school bus or a tour bus pulls in, you're only going to sell one bag of chips. That's all you got on your shelf. But if you have lots of bags of potato chips on your shelf, somebody gave me these. I ate all
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Cheetos.
That was Kathy J again. He ate all the
But
Cheetos.
but yeah, but
But
if you
this is
have a
the
lot of bags of chips on the shelf, you're gonna sell a lot of bags when that tour bus pulls in. And
well,
that
yeah,
that L3 right there on that's a perfect example of what
yep.
I'm saying. You
So was
gotta have
XCN.
inventory.
So was XCN. Cindy in the chat said, "Hey, man, all people need to know once they see and Cindy, thank you for the comments. Anybody that hasn't seen our presentation before, we kind of explained to you a little bit how the watch works. But the fact of the matter is the nuts and bolts are if it works, it works. The fact of the matter is you buy it, you fund your Kraken or Coinbase account, you set it up once, which we will handhold you through it. I don't know anybody else on the planet that invites people in. We'll post our support emails. You can request, hey, I'm interested. I got some more questions. I want to buy it. I need help setting it up. You can request a 15-minute window because it doesn't take any longer than that
To be
to do
frank,
this.
though, Edward, to be frank, we've had very few, it's so simple.
Yep.
We've had so few people that have made that request. But if you do make it, we're there for you.
Yep.
I
And
think
and,
And
and
you know, if
also,
you call me, you better have 3 hours.
yeah,
Yeah.
if you don't have 3 hours
you want
and
15 minutes versus 3 hours.
you just want to start making money, then yeah, all kidding aside, Ed and his team are awesome, and
Because I
we
talk a
work
lot.
together. Just to clarify, myself, I was going to say Edward, but that's me and all the other people in my head. Edward and Attila, me and Attila are the support mechanism for the trader as a buffer between Casey, because she's busy rock starring, educating people, and Ed and team that are continuing to almost on a daily basis add value and upgrades and enhancements to make this better and better and better. There's another good thing. We don't take a percentage of your profits, and you don't have to pay for enhancements. Once you buy the trader, it's going to make you money for life, and you're always going to renew it. So
And not only
uh,
that, you know, when you have a robotic trader, it's like I call it a 7-Eleven without the bricks and mortar. You don't have any employees. Ed
No.
Attila says it real nice. You don't have to have any degrees or whatever. You don't need any education. You don't need to know anything about crypto. I mean, I've made it so simple
And
because
one
even I
more,
go crazy when it comes to crypto. I mean, Crypto Casey knows like a million times more than I do about that whole space. I look at the crypto market and I'm like, oh God, I don't know all that DeFi stuff and
one
jumping
more,
through Pancake Swap and
one more thing,
BNB
Ed. I
coins
got
and you know, it all freaks me out. But with GoBabyTrade, you just sign up, put in your symbols,
Set it and forget it.
and watch it trade by itself.
All right, I want to say a couple things. So one, whenever you look at the profits, it's minus all the trading fees. So it's not like some fluffed up thing. That's
Net.
cold hard cash.
If you have
Yep.
a 3% profit goal, the software actually calls Coinbase ahead of time and says, what is the fee going to be on this trade? They give us an answer back. We know exactly what that fee is going to be. And we add that to the 3% profit goal so that when we make the profit, it covers the fee.
Yep. And the icing on the cake is you get to write those fees off, even though that somebody else paid for
And I'm taking my coat off right
them.
now because I don't want to look like those guys on MSNBC. When you ask a question, I'm going to give you a real answer, not a baloney answer.
and
That says,
that's
well, if the company reports these earnings and the guy drives down Madison Avenue on Thursday afternoon, then the coin might go up.
And
You
here's
know,
what's
they give
cool.
you all
Here's
these
what's
baloney
funny.
answers.
I think the most common question we've been having the past like 6 months is what should I do with the profits? They're not even asking how it makes money anymore. It's proven it. And now it's like, well, what should I do with this money? It's like,
Oh
oh
yeah, that
great,
God,
is true.
what
great
should I
point.
do?
That is true.
all right.
And I say save
Yep.
100. The default setting in the trader is save 100% of the
No,
profits.
exactly. I don't know, Ed, if you saw in the chat, Cindy
No, I
was
wasn't
asking
looking.
why you wouldn't reallocate all the profits to trading, which I did test that out before, and we will get to that. But yeah, I mean, all right, let's just do the Q&A and go with it.
Well,
We can do that. I
can
go
we
after that.
can we do this first, Casey?
Yeah.
You've been extraordinarily patient. Would you share
Yeah, I
some
haven't
of your?
had hardly talked at all.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
I hardly got.
here's your chance. Take off your coat.
I'm gonna sit
Uh,
back and let Casey answer all the
yeah.
questions.
Share.
I'll have the cat answer the questions.
That's if you would please share your
Cat will have all the
experience. Your experience with my comment, just uncontext comment at the beginning about tell your experience about the scam to not scam
Well,
of
sure. Long story short, most of the time, so with my YouTube channel, I like to buy products and services, test them out. If they'll provide value to people, I'll be the guinea pig. And if it passes the test of where, hey, it's useful to me, it might make sense for you. I'll make a video about it. I'll talk about it. I get tons of emails, a lot of requests for people for certain things, and sometimes I'm no, no, no. And I actually have a guy who he's kind of like field stuff to me, and if it's going to be a deal, it's a deal. And I hardly talk to anybody. So this was a unique experience because I have a friend. We have a business venture that has nothing to do with crypto or blockchain. He was at a networking, and whenever we went into business, I said, there's one rule, just don't talk about my YouTube channel because it has nothing to do with this, this type of industry we're in. And immediately within the first couple months at a networking event, he met Edward. Edward mentioned that he was in blockchain and crypto and he broke the rule and said, "Oh, you should meet my friend Casey." And so, long story short, I'm in this meeting with Edward and Attila, and they're telling me about this thing, and I'm like, "Oh man, like this sounds like a scam." It's every word, every slogan, jargon that I say, "Don't believe," "Set it, forget it," "Money while you asleep," like whatever. So I leave the meeting like chastise him for breaking the rule, and he's like, "Sorry," I'm like, "Whatever." So, anyways, I buy it unbeknownst to them for the $4,500, and I used it for about 4 months, and I was like, "Wow, this is really interesting." So then hit him up, got to talk with creator Ed, and it took about 9 months before I made the video that I felt comfortable. Like, all right, guys, this is out there. It seems interesting. I was scared because it sounds too good to be true. But I was like, well, hey, if we're not going to see it on a billboard on local ads, I mean, nobody's going to see it. So put it out there, a couple years ago, and here we are. A lot of people have been happy. I've been happy.
Casey bought Casey bought the software to test for 4 months.
Tell them.
Under the
I like to go through the organic way that because some people will give me stuff and then it's like, I don't know if I'm getting something different. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah, I mean, but my point is she paid $1,000 more because of the way she wants to test things. Like she said, test the things like organically, like she mentioned. So we didn't even know it. We found out after the fact, which was pretty cool.
Yep.
So, all
Yeah,
right.
she
Great.
paid here's the point on the point. If you I just posted her discount link as well. You can do all your own research, all the stuff that we've talked about and showed you. But you'll actually get to pay $1,000 less than Casey did. So Casey, a couple of direct questions.
Okay.
So has your opinion changed from but who are
Concerning
these
what?
clowns that have this scammy thing?
I didn't think y'all were clowns. I just didn't really understand what was going on. I don't
I
know.
I I added that flavor.
well, there
So
is a difference though. When she first met you, she thought you were crazy. Now she knows you're crazy.
well, that's
Yeah,
different
that's
from
different.
clowns,
It's crazy though.
but indeed,
I don't think
yes.
I don't think Casey would be here if her opinion didn't change.
No.
I think most people think I'm crazy. So that's like, or among friends here.
All
Well,
right, so let
We're all
me
in
let
the
me
nut house.
let me take let me take the opportunity now, since we have so many questions. Let's just dive right into it, okay? So here we go. I'm going to take the first one, and the second one is actually for Casey.
yep.
So Kevon is asking, at this time, I'll answer this. It's an easy one. At this time of the down crypto market, would the robot outperform in trading the stock market? Thank you. The crypto market is significantly more volatile, generally speaking, than the stock market. Plus, don't forget, Kevon, it's 24/7. Stocks are only 5 days a week, 6.5 hours a day.
In the stock
And
market,
they
you
take
have,
holidays.
yeah, and also the stock market, you have to be a lot of times accredited investors or you have to be a part of the US. I mean, it's a
Yeah.
very small
And
pool.
you have, that's true. Good point. And then you have other rules of the road in stock trading from the exchanges that limit your how many trades you could do in a week. For example, I'm not going to go into the details. It's not important, but the answer is no, it wouldn't
No.
outperform, you
And
know.
cryptos
Oh, actually,
destroy
at the time of the down
stock
crypto
market.
market, yes, even in a down crypto market, I believe the GoBabyTrade would outperform the stock market.
Wait.
Yes.
It's
We
just
destroy the
mathematically and
stock market.
logistically, it's not even like, I don't even think that's something we could argue about. It's just
No, it's not
fact
even
of the matter.
close. Yeah.
No, it's when after 21 years of just doing stocks, as soon as I turned on the crypto trader in 2021 for the
Yeah.
first time, I said, "Oh my God." Because people were asking me to automate the crypto market all the way back in 2017, and I kind of wasn't interested because I was busy in the stock market. I was entrenched in the stock market. But then once I went away from downloadable software and I got rid of 40 support people, I didn't need them anymore. Now that it's web based and the auto traders run on my servers, I don't have any issues with the auto traders because I don't have to worry about is your computer running anymore. So as soon as I turned that on, as soon as I automated the crypto market, I said, "Oh my God, man, I'm done with stocks. Cryptos rock, man.
Yeah.
Cryptos, I mean, they move 100 times more than stocks. And the prices, like I said, stock prices go like this. Crypto prices, you saw the charts, they jump. And when
Right.
a coin jumps like 100% higher, or even the other day, 250% higher in one day, all that inventory you're sitting on, you just sold off profitably, and then it comes bouncing back down. I'm like, thanks. And you buy it back down here again.
Okay, Ed, I
I
gotta I
love the
gotta move
crypto
on.
market.
We got like 20 questions, so I gotta move on. This is for Casey, and it's not really related to the trader, but I'll
Okay.
ask it. Just let's keep it brief. Andrew here. This is for Casey. I had an Uphold account for 1 month last week. They closed my account,
Hmm.
plus my crypto portfolio, and refunded my money. Never gave me any explanations. Have you heard of this happening before?
What country is he from?
Andrew, type in the
Country of Texas.
type in the chat.
He's
Type
probably
in
in New
the,
York. No, just kidding. I don't know.
Oh
New York is
yeah.
a tough one.
I don't know, but let's I've not
Oh,
heard.
she said she's in Europe.
No,
Mm.
Nope,
I think
Andrew.
with like the new Mika
No.
stuff, like Europe is tough. I don't know. I can try to reach out and see. I'm in the United States. I know Uphold tries to uphold and be very, very clean with their stuff regulatorily. So it might be something to do with the specific region of Europe or country. Because, like Europe is a collection of a lot of different countries with a lot of different regulatory stuff. It might have to do with that. But
Okay.
I'll ask.
Edward, do you want to grab the second question from Andrew?
Sure. Does the signals GoBabyTrade sent to Coinbase also trade the crypto in Coinbase? My crypto has been trading same coins selected in the trader since I connected to GoBabyTrade. The answer is yes. So to clarify, the trader is an external tool that connects one time to Coinbase or Kraken via API. It then only has the authority. It can't withdraw your money. It can't buy you presents,
Can't
except for making
transfer.
money. It can't transfer. It can't go anywhere. It only has the authority to send, buy, and sell trades. So yes, if you're looking in your Coinbase, you're going to see an exact mirror of what's in your Coinbase because that's where it's trading it. It's not trading it on the trader. It's trading it on the secure platform. Easy. And then go all the way back to, the safety and security. That's where you want it because particularly if you have your accounts locked down so that they cannot be hacked, which we also help you with if you have questions about that, then you remain 100% in control of your assets, period.
Okay. So let me grab Cindy Lee's question because this is important for everybody to know. This is a great feature that Ed Barsano added on. By the way, since I've had the trader 25 months now, GoBabyTrade, Ed has added at least 8 to 10 enhancements. And I would say 3 of them are major deals. So her question is, my trader has not bought or sold anything in days. Well, let's not forget something here.
It's okay.
By the way, Edward, did you give the disclaimer up front like you normally do?
I did.
Okay,
I did.
we don't make any guarantees, but there is one guarantee that exists. The trader can only give you as much money as the market is able to give the opportunity to the trader to make money for you. So everything is market dependent. Now, let me finish reading your question. My trader has not bought or sold anything in days. What setting do I need to check to be sure something didn't get screwed up? So, Ed, do you mind screen sharing what everybody needs to know about? And that is the what's it
Save
called?
your profits.
The health meter. The health meter.
Oh,
The
okay.
health meter is such a brilliant,
Yeah,
I
I
don't
went
want to
and
say
created that. Let
creation.
me
Yeah.
see if I could find it.
Well, it's just on your trader under menu.
No, I'm trying to find that thing that allows me to share the screen.
Oh, it's on the Zoom menu. Share.
I'm not get. Oh, it's under.
Yeah,
Oh, here.
I can show mine.
Yeah,
Oh,
it doesn't matter. Anybody could show you. Yeah.
yep. Yeah, I totally forgot. Here's the report that gets me emailed to you every day. I showed you the traffic or the profits on April 28th yesterday, right? It shows you all the buys, all the sells, all your positions, so you never ever have to think about what's going on in the trader.
Good tracking.
Yep. So let me here we go. So
I
sorry,
found the
it
share
shows you.
button.
Menu and
Yep.
then oops, what happened?
That's all
He
right.
has to log in.
Yep. Yeah, I think I
This is
have
a great. If you have any questions about whether or not your trader is working accurately, all you have to do is click on Health Meter there, and boom, this pops up. Now, if it's in light green, the green color means everything is copacetic. You're good. It takes a few seconds to pop up. But if you see, like,
It's checking everything in your trader, all your money. Do you have enough money to do things and all
everything.
kinds of stuff?
Yeah, and
So
if
it
something,
takes a minute.
okay, so yellow means it's just informational there. It's just letting you know that this exists, but you don't have to do anything. You can click on review and see the details, but there's no action needed for you to take.
Right.
However, if you see like a bright orange, almost red, that means there's a problem. There's an issue. But here's the great
It'll be
news.
a big red X.
Here's the great news. Ed Barsano programmed it so in most cases to the far right where you see review in blue, it'll say something like autocorrect. I forget the exact term you use, but it's like you click on autocorrect and it fixes the problem. It's great. You don't have to figure anything out.
In your own trader.
Yeah,
A lot of times people will take money out of their account that the software thought it had that the software allocated already. It was planning on using those funds, and then all of a sudden all that money disappeared. And then the auto trader is going to come back and say, "Well, you know what? I'm short of money here."
yeah,
I mean, sometimes you take money out and you're not, and the software still has money to use, but but if you take all the money out and the software doesn't have any cash to use to buy coins,
right,
it's going to give you a big error message.
right.
It's going to let you know, hey, by the way, there's no money in here to trade with. So
Okay, Ed, you want to grab the next one, Edward?
Oh, I thought you were giving one to Ed.
We
No, I mean,
don't have 3 hours.
Oh, okay. Syed says, I have these questions. Trader software executes on edge servers, or is it done on your PC? It's 100% secure, locked down on internal intranet servers. It's not penetrable, so you're safe.
it's not on your PC.
Right.
It has nothing to do with your PC. If you can go to any browser app on your PC or your cell phone or whatever, and you can bring up your trader and see what it's doing. But the trades, and all you're getting is a web page that's telling you it's showing you what your trader's doing. But all the auto traders are running on my servers, and then any orders submitted, they go to the exchange to be filled. They fill the orders up there. All your money and your coins stay up at Coinbase or Kraken.
Yep.
You can
Everything is taking
throw your
place in there.
phone, your iPad, your Android, your computer into a volcano, and it's still
Yeah.
That's a pretty interesting example, but
You
it's
could
true.
actually die if you
You're
physically
gonna die.
died.
Yeah, that's another extreme
You could
example.
actually die.
Your auto trader would still be running on our servers.
You could have your computer, your phone, your tablet, and jump into a volcano,
Yes,
and it's
all
still
together with it.
working. So
Whole
let
thing.
me go on with this question. He says, so then I have to keep my PC on 24/7? No.
no,
No.
Next is the money made used accumulatively, meaning used for next trades that I will make? Well, there's a
Actually,
qualified answer.
this is the new feature that we
You want me to show the new feature?
Yep,
You want me to show
bear
how
with
it
me.
works?
Let me get
Like 7 days ago.
no,
through
there's
the
more.
question.
Hold on, guys.
Easy kids. So it's a qualified answer, and we'll show you in just a second. So when you buy the trader, it's defaulted to save 100% of your coins in what we call a save profit bucket. Let me first explain that piece of the puzzle. So I already explained that the trader connects to your Coinbase account, and you're giving it access to either USD or USDC. USDC, there's advantage because once in crypto, stay in crypto. Then the idea is that the save bucket is a mechanism within the trader that as it takes profits, it throws it into the save bucket. Now, there is no save bucket, really. It's a metaphor for the fact that if you have it set as it's defaulted to save 100% of the profits when you connect it, that is modifiable. But in this example, every piece of profit, every penny of profit goes into the imaginary bucket, which means that the profit you've made is invisible to the trader. Now you can release it back. You can manage the how much it saves and how much it doesn't save. If you changed it from 100% to 0 to save nothing, then you're correct. It would be compounding back into the trades. Okay. So next part of your question. What trading platform is used? It is the proprietary GoBabyTrade trading platform that it doesn't exist anywhere else. It executes the trades for you. TradeView, no. Can I check the charts of the crypto online? Of course you can. Can you explain how the taxes are done? I'm not going to give you tax advice, but I'll make a comment. Taxes are a function of the exchange.
Oh, go ahead. Yeah.
Yep. Taxes are a function of the exchange.
100% of the time. It
Right.
has nothing to do with the trader.
Except the way they log the trades.
Right. There are tax mitigation
Tax advantages to the way they log the trades.
Right.
Yep.
And go ahead if you want to, Casey, if you want to address that,
No, I
or
think Ed has, so there's three ways that happens, HIFO, LIFO, FIFO. Ed can explain it, but it's
All
funny,
right.
you're making profit, but the billionaire tax loophole stuff that big finance uses actually benefits us in the situation, which Ed
indeed.
can expound
Right.
on.
An example, a simple example. Follow me. It's not hard. If you bought a coin at $10 and the price went down to $1, and then you bought it again at $1, so now you own it at $10 and you own it at $1, and then it goes to $2. The AutoTrader is using LIFO, last in, first out. The last one it bought was at $1, and the first one it's going to sell is that dollar, first out. So it's going to sell it at $2 for a profit. You know you sold it at a profit. You'll see it on the screen. You took that profit. However, Coinbase or Kraken is going to log it using the HIFO method. Highest in, first out. They're going to say you bought it at 10 and sold it at 2 for a big fat loss for your taxes. So someone just recently said they know they made 14,000 in profits in their trader, but Coinbase logged it as if they lost $22,000. So they logged it as, for tax purposes, they showed a $22,000 loss instead of a $14,000 gain.
Hmm.
That's how the rich get
That's great.
richer. You're
That's
not
great.
violating any laws. That's the way taxes are done. You don't have to worry about it. Now, that feature about profits saved, let me at least touch on that because this is a Crypto Casey feature. She asked for this feature. It used to be a very simple process where you saved your profits and then you had it all in a save bucket and that was it. Then Casey asked me to write a program. She said, "Can you change it so that I can direct the incoming profit to different coins?" So
Hmm.
pretend like this is Bitcoin because that's how Casey has hers. She has Bitcoin. So she says, let all the coins make the profit, but direct all the profit to her Bitcoin. In my case, I showed it for GRT. I put 100. So as the money's coming in, the profits are coming in, all that extra money is going into the Bitcoin money bucket so whatever Bitcoin had to use money wise, it also has an extra whatever profits the other coins are making.
And if somebody is correct me if I'm wrong, Ed, if somebody is dollar cost averaging, they would turn off the allow sell and just keep allow buy checked, and then
Yeah.
they could put their like if somebody wanted to buy only XRP, then they uncheck allow sell. You just keep allow buy checked, and then you redirect all your profits into XRP.
Well,
Also,
let's
they
add
need a,
XRP.
yeah, go ahead.
What?
Let's add XRP to the list.
Yeah,
If I
yeah,
say I want to add XRP now down to the bottom here,
right.
you see I have all these funds that are funds remaining for each coin. But I'm
Yep.
going to say my XRP now, I'm going to borrow from these. I'm going to say spread funds equally. Spread this remaining money equally to these coins. So now it lowered the amount of money it had for each of the other coins, but it put 45,000 of that money into XRP's bucket. Now
Hmm.
XRP, we don't want it to sell though. We want to just dollar cost average into it.
Right,
So I have to say add as price advances in case the price goes higher, I want to still be able to buy it. And then
right,
uncheck allow sell. So
right.
now it'll just dollar cost average into XRP. Now remember that what I said about Bitcoin. Remember that GRT. I told it to give money to
Right.
GRT. That distributed. Called the distributed funds. That profit that came in is right here in GRT. So now that coin has has extra money to work with. It had all this other money to work with, but then it also has the profits that were distributed to it directly.
So how would you do that for XRP though, is my question. How would you
Oh,
add,
if I wanted to do that for XRP,
yeah,
you mean it's the same thing. I would if XRP was on my list, I would say pretend like Sheeb is XRP. Say I
okay,
want 50% of my money because I didn't add XRP yet. I'm not going to add it
right,
because I don't want to trade it.
right.
um, but there's 50% of the profits going into GRT, and let's pretend like Shiba Inu was XRP. I could say distribute another. Let's just put 25% of the profits on on SHIB,
Okay, cool.
and then say I want to save the other 25%. I want to save that profit coming in, but I don't want it to be used by any other coin. I just want to save it. I can put that here in the save profits. Now if I can hit save profits.
Great. Okay, cool. Thank you. Okay, next question. Let's move on because let's see. Let me go to the top of the page. Frank says, so a lot of the buys are a lot higher than my coin is ever likely to get to again. Really? Do you have a
No,
written?
it doesn't matter. Mine too. If the coins drop 94% and you bought something up here, then that coin, that one lot you bought, or those bunch of lots you bought way up at the top
Let me just finish
are
Frank's.
underwater, then just hold them. Don't worry. That
Let me.
coin, all these coins are, watch when this crypto market really takes off. We've been on a 5-year downtrend for the whole time. BlackRock has been accumulating the same as us for the same 5 years. They've been buying from the top to the bottom. It's not important where you own your coins at the higher prices. What's important is, are you constantly taking profits down here? That's what's important. Go to my trader. This is what's important, is am I accumulate constantly total profits taken? Down here, all this constant taking of money. This is after my coins are already down 94%. I'm still pumping out money. I'm still pumping out money forever. And there's nothing they can ever do to stop me. There's nothing they can ever do, and it will add up. That's what I was telling you earlier. Don't worry about those people. The biggest mistake you can make is to sell all your coins at a loss. Oh man. Because then how do you recover that? And why? Because the coins went lower, you want to sell them at a loss? You know, your house, if you bought a house and then it went down in value, are you going to just dump your house like it's garbage because the price is lower than what you paid for it? I mean, that's a really crazy example to use, but I just made it up. Sorry, I couldn't come up with a better one. But, I mean, your car depreciates every year in value. Are you just going to throw your car away because it's lower than what you paid for it? It's just the wrong way of thinking.
Okay.
I would not sell my coins at a loss. I will never. Like I said, I was in XCN in my other trader, and it had 50 lots, and it sold 25 of those lots off. And they were all underwater. I had 50 lots buys that were all underwater. And then all of a sudden it went boom, it went halfway back up, and 25 of those lots all sold off profitably.
Okay.
And I'm
We gotta
still in
move.
the game, pumping money. You never
Thank
want
you.
to sell anything at a loss. There's no reason to.
Thank you, Ed. Can you elaborate on lots? A lot is a position, Ron. Ron is
Each time you
asking
buy
this.
it.
So when you buy, like, it shows the last Doge position Ed Barsano has at 10 cents, 23,000 quantity. That's a lot. That's a position. That's all it is. It's a position that was taken when it went down.
See,
Uh,
here's one lot, two lot, another lot.
right,
I
right.
can just sit here and scroll down. I can see all these. Each one
Yep,
of these is a lot that I purchased at a certain price, and this is how much that one lot is down.
that's it.
I
Okay.
call
The
that one
second
lot.
The second clarification Ron needs, Ed, is can you also tell me what the times between trade means? I'm not sure about
That's
that.
All
on the
right.
settings. That's the 60 minutes.
Oh yeah,
But
yeah, 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 yeah.
the number of lots, though, I wanted to show you right on
What?
your main screen. You can see this 25 lots, 25 lots, 37 lots.
Yep.
And that's okay. And if you click plus on any of these, you can see your most recent one is the top one here. And it's actually telling me, here's the current price, 241, right? 0241. It's telling me if the price drops to at the top there, if the price drops to 0204, it's going to buy more. But it's got to decline. It's got to go down more and it'll buy more. It's actually telling you. Sometimes people call me and say, how come my AutoTrader is not taking profit? I'm like, and what do you think I do when you do that? I go into your account right on the same screen and I look and I click on the plus next to the symbol and I say, okay, well, it's at 241 is where the price is now, and it's got to go down to 204, so it hasn't reached the price to buy yet, to buy more. It just hasn't reached it yet. So I always tell people, click on the plus and open it up, and it actually tells you what the price needs to be before it's going to
Okay.
buy more. Here's
That,
one
that's a,
here. It's at 3356 right now. If it drops to 30, you see it? 0033 to 0030, then it'll buy more. It's telling you it's ahead of time. It's even telling you how much it has to go up to sell it. The current price is 335. If it goes to 3644, which is where it was when I clicked it, if it goes to 3644, then it'll sell it. It's telling you how high it has to go to sell, how low it has to go to buy more. It's letting you know ahead of time what it's going to do.
yeah, perfect. Thank you, Ed. He also is asking about the time between trades. That's the 60 minutes. Can you just
That's
cover
on the
that?
edit strategy screen. So you got the select currencies where you put in your symbols. The next screen down is your edit strategy screen. And it says, don't accumulate more than 2 lots in a day. If the price is going up and down, I could buy and sell it 20 times. But if it buys and I hold that one and then it buys again a second time, it's not going to buy more of those. It's not going to accumulate more. Now, if it sells one off, then it could buy it again. But it's only going to accumulate 2 in a day. See, it even says it. Max lots accumulated in a single day. These required minutes between buys from your last open or close, it's saying I say let the market breathe. Don't feel like you have to be like in this case, I'm adding on 1% drops right now on this trader. However, if I buy it on a 1% drop, now it may gap down 6% drop before I actually bought it because it gapped down. But say I'm adding on 1% drops, if I did that buy, now it's going to wait 60 minutes before it buys again. So it might go down 3% more in that 60 minutes, and then I'll buy again. I don't want to just feel like I have to be in such total control of the market. It's like,
Right.
let the market breathe. Let those prices go around. A coin might drop 20% in the next hour, in the next 60 minutes before you buy it again. It's like, that's beautiful. The lower
Okay.
I could buy it, the better.
Thank you.
So
That's enough,
some
Ed.
people I can tell when someone is trying to get all their money invested right away. I'll tell you what they do is they things like that. They put a big number there. They reduce this number down to I don't want to wait at all. As soon as it's down 1%, I want to buy more. Okay, you're just eager to get all your money in there. And then you're all in at the top and then you run out of money. You don't have any money for when it goes lower because you're trying to use up your money. And I'm like, leave the defaults alone. The default settings are
Yep.
perfect.
Perfect. Okay,
Seriously.
let me answer Stacy's question. I'd like to still understand the actual mechanics of the trade, the setup, choosing coin, setting strategy, etc. Will this webinar get into the nuts and bolts of the trader?
Boy, this is the nuts and bolts,
Where
everything
you
we're
been?
saying.
Where you
She
been,
asked that.
Newman?
She asked that over an hour ago, though. Fair,
Oh,
to be
Okay,
fair.
all right.
so let me just cover each point real quick. The mechanics of the trade, Stacy, if you trapped me on an elevator and said, "What's the mechanics of of this trader?" When it goes down 3%, it buys more. When it goes up 3% or 5, depending on where you have it, it takes the profit for you. That's it. End of story.
There's the
Unless,
mechanics of the trader right there.
yeah, exactly. The bucket and the well is the mechanics.
Keep taking
The
money.
setup
Don't
we
let
told
that market breathe without paying you.
The setup, we told you that if you need assistance, you buy the license, you need assistance with connecting live to your Coinbase
Or even a
account.
walkthrough of your trader. I can do that. We can do that. That's fine.
Yeah, just
I
email
don't
us.
mind helping you.
Choosing coin, we just covered that. Setting the strategy. The strategy is
There's
just,
the highest coins, the ones that move the most.
yeah. So I hope since you asked the question, we've answered most of that for you. Okay. Stephanie Walton is asking, I'm rather, if we are buying when it drops 3% and selling when it goes up 5%, essentially we're making 2% on each trade, correct? Minus
No, you're
trading
making
fees and taxes.
5% because the one you bought down here is going to sell 5% higher. It's whichever
All
one.
right.
I don't care which lot it is. It's going to sell 5% higher.
Yeah. Stephanie, if it wouldn't have gone down, okay, 3%. Still, if it wouldn't have gone down 3% and it goes up
Even
5%, you're still going to make 5%.
so, if I own this one here and then I add, and then it goes down 3% and I buy another lot there, this one is going to have to go up 5% before it sells. But this one here is already still up 2%. So it only has to go up 3% more to sell. But you're still getting 5% on every lot that it buys.
Great. Thank you. Edward, you want to get the next one or two?
Sure. Doing some housekeeping along the way as you were talking about reviewing your account. I put support at GoBabyTrade.com and also support at
Great.
RCTMarketingSystems.com. So
Great.
that's in there. I'm also going to give you for anybody that wants to watch it. Casey, her most everything that she puts out is absolutely brilliant. As it pertains, excuse me, as it pertains to the trader, she did a great review testimonial of her experience and
Oh,
what
yeah.
you can experience as well. I'm going to put that in the chat. Just did. Make sure you watch it. Smash the like button. If you're not subscribed, subscribe to her and make sure that you work backwards from everything she's taught. Buy the trader, don't buy the trader. Watch her information, and when you come out the backside, you'll be running it, buying the trader. So, Kevon, I think the auto trader will outperform the stock market with TradeStation because crypto is in a down state while the stock market varies in individual performance, except in the case of ETFs. I mirror that sentiment. My personal opinion, not anything other than my personal opinion, is the stock market is way oversold. If you looked at the original, some of the original theories based on multiples of earnings, ETFs probably the only good thing because it allows you to participate in this new nascent space of the digital money revolution and take advantage of the profits. But you're buying derivatives that are not the real crypto. Um, it's leading to my point being, if you want to participate in the crypto market safely, securely, we just showed you how. So thanks, Keon. I know that wasn't a question, but
But
Yeah,
appreciate
everything
no,
the
we're telling you, by the way, you really don't even need to know all this stuff. Really. All the people running the auto trader, they just turn it on and watch it make money.
Yeah, Cindy made that
and
point
then
earlier. She's like, I just don't worry about the nuts and bolts. Yeah, we want you to be fully educated so you can ask questions and also
yeah,
do your own research. But quite frankly, the nuts and bolts or the bottom line is buy it, get our help, become a part of our community, which I'll post a community link that you can join for free and follow along. Great place to answer questions and interact. But the simple fact is buy the trader, get our help or do it through the connection video, fund your account, go live your life. You
And
don't have to worry about
I'll
it anymore.
also add this because whenever I first looked at it, I want to know what are the risks, what are, what's going on. I mean, at the end of the day, if we want to buy a car, we know the risks of owning a car. We have somebody could crash into us. There's insurance. We need to know how to drive the car.
hmm
Once you get past like understanding what being on the road and all of that is, now we're getting to the point like, how does this car work? Like, how do the pistons work? What's like, once you get into that, then do you want to be a mechanic? Do you want to be a programmer? It kind of it gets into that level, but I totally understand what risks people want to know. Like, yeah.
Yep. Yeah. What is it, right? You're going into something that, you're being exposed, or anytime anybody's seen our master classes, you're being exposed to information that seems outlandish. But as I started last week when we started the webinar, is that there's a lot of questions that will come up, particularly if this is your first time seeing it. And everybody goes through this evolution. This can't be real. It doesn't exist. Why doesn't everybody have it? Why would you write all of these whys?
I
And
want to
you
know why
find
everybody
out,
doesn't drink smart water, man. What's the matter with the world?
well, because you're the only one that is Ed Smartwater Barsano. My point being, you're being exposed to new information. You already know before I even said the traditional finance system, fiat debt-based system that you're in, it's going to be a rug pull.
The
It'll
Also,
be.
biggest,
Wall Street has this technology, but if they sell it to you as a strategy, they're only going to give you 3 to 5% because that's what the market's used to and what will bear. Otherwise, they're just, I mean, did you get into the bank analogy or not even analogy? The truth of the matter, whenever we give our money to the banks,
Yep.
they give us 0.06% on average for savings and they lend it out for 30% to private equity credit stuff. We
Yep.
are literally
right?
funding credit cards.
We did talk about that, and just to
Okay.
put a fine point on that is that the current banking system and the reason why the banks, the big people that have been that have you've been lending your money to them and they've been stealing from you, the reason why they're pissed about the crypto market is because you're no longer going to put your dollars in there once you understand that by law of a rule that's been working against you since the fiat system was put in place. For every dollar that you give to the bank for free, loan to the bank for free, they can lend out 90 cents. And they can do that. A dollar, you deposit a dollar, that automatically means, because of the way that the system is rigged, a $400 profit automatically for the bank. If you don't think that's rigged, buy our book when it comes out. It's soon to be released,
by the way,
right?
real quick,
Call
real,
anybody. Call another AI company. You see their website, they have their product, and I'm going to tell you what they have. They have a bunch of menu items so that you can create your own strategy. Why do they do that? Because they don't have a strategy that makes money. So they give you all these choices, and then when you lose your money, you're just dead. We don't do that. We actually give you limited choices that really so that the auto trader is designed to make money. It's like I said, in my old system I had 10 screens of ways for you to blow yourself up. I got rid of all that stuff because people were actually losing money because they were using all the old methodologies of trading. And that's one of the criticisms that we get really if you go to the internet and try to search the people that are against take GoBabyTrade if they have anything bad to say. It's the people who don't own an auto trader because they're brainwashed into thinking that can't be real.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel bad for them, because they may figure it out 25 years from now that they were wrong, but
hey Ed, we got a tremendous testimonial from Scott Logan, who's a good man. I've spoken to Scott. He's been with the trader at least 9 months, maybe longer. I woke up Monday morning, looked at my trader, and found out that I made $931 on XCN because it jumped 54% from 1:25 a.m. to 1:30 a.m., all while I slept. Then it dropped, and my GoBabyTrade bought some back. Then it went up, and my GoBabyTrade sold it. Then it dropped again, and my trader brought it back, all while I slept.
I love it. And
Scott,
that's what the auto trader does. It preps you for the kill. It
Yeah.
doesn't let the market breathe. And
yep.
while your auto trader Scott was doing all that, it was doing that for all of us. Anybody in GoBabyTrade that had that coin, XCN, in their list, it was doing exactly what you just described. And you know who else it was doing it for? BlackRock. They're doing the same thing. Who do you think's moving the prices up and down? Not us. They are, and they're cleaning up. While they're busy telling you to buy and hold. It's my only criticism about Warren Buffett is he tells people to buy and hold and don't worry, sit on it. In 100 years you'll be rich. You know, they're busy trading the market, turning inventory. Like I said, you wouldn't own a 7-Eleven, fill up the shelves with inventory, and then lock the doors and wait
Right,
for the groceries to appreciate in value. It makes
right.
no sense.
Exactamundo.
Hey,
Okay.
before we move on to the next, I've got a comment for Scott.
Thank
Excuse
you,
me.
Scott, by the way.
Yeah, yeah. Well, a huge thank you. That kind of stuff. Those kind of comments are gold to us because it doesn't come. We didn't say, hey Scott, write something cool.
Yeah,
He
I'm gonna
just he
say, did
just
somebody
he
pay
felt
you to say that?
no, no, he did not. Well, yes, XCN paid him.
Oh,
Right. So, first of all, Scott, I want to say thank you. You are a great member of the family and community. You always have positive input, and you really lend credibility. If people don't believe us or they think it's too good to be true, people like you and a lot of people, thank you, have shared those comments, and that quality of feedback. Um, because it adds credibility to who we are and what we do and what we're attempting to share. And that's a life changer. Can you imagine when the market or when the trader, which by the way has never seen a bull market, it's seen a couple of blips like XCN or the examples that we gave earlier, L3. But and I made this comment to somebody in the chat, is that when the market starts taking off, the comment was it's great to have inventory. And I said, well, when the market takes off and all of our inventory gets blown out and we're happy as clams about, I've never seen a happy clam, by the way, about all the profit that we're taking, everybody's going to be screaming for the market to go down so that we can get more inventory because we know it works. So, Scott, thank
that's why
you.
you want to get started right away, is
Yep.
so your auto trader can start building inventory. Because every day
Right.
you don't have an auto trader, number one, you're not building inventory,
Right.
and number two, you're not taking no money. The market's throwing at you every day or every other day. Look what happened
Scott,
last
Scott,
January, a year ago, when ACH just took off and it went from 2 cents. Well, I moved it off the screen, but from 020, from 2 cents all the way to almost to 5.8 cents in 5 days. It was just all this free money. All those lots that we bought, sold it all off. Radically profitable. 2,200 on that one, 2,000 on that one. Just
yep.
all this free money. And then exactly what Scott said, it started to wiggle. So it started to slow down the up and it started to pull back and the auto trader bought more. And then
Hey,
it
Yep.
went
Hey,
up back
Ted.
up again and it sold it again and it just continued. All this in a couple days, it's just
we're
Yep.
almost
free
there, folks.
money.
Yep. Let me finish with Scott. Not only thank you, Scott, would you do me a favor? Type in, if you're okay with this, type into the chat. Yes, I have an ask of you. I have two asks. One, may we use that as a testimonial? And two, and there's no obligation for either one. If you wouldn't mind at some point shooting just a 1 to 2 minute video talking about
Wow, that's
your
asking the guy to
experience,
do a lot.
talking about the quality of your experience, and in return, when we publish the book, we're all going to sign it and we'll send you an autographed copy. Does that make
Wow.
is that a deal?
Yeah, I'm
If
sure
if
it
you're
is.
still here, Scott.
Yeah, yeah.
If not, you have to be. Oh, absolutely. Okay, he writes absolutely. So, yes, then we'll use this as a testimonial, and then you can send the video testimonial anytime you want. It certainly doesn't have to be formal. Don't be shy. You can say whatever it is you
Just
want.
use your phone. Yeah.
But yeah, just use your phone and then send it to support at RCT Marketing Systems, and that would be greatly appreciated. We'll acknowledge it. And yes, we'll come through with an autographed copy of the book. So much
Awesome.
appreciated. And he goes on to say, the power of the inventory. That's the power of inventory, and that is absolutely the case.
Yep. All right.
And you
Thank
look
you.
at me scrolling down here this whole time. It's just nothing but fill the shelves and sell it off. Fill the shelves and
Yep.
sell it off.
Ed, we got to
Forever.
move on. We got about six more questions. Sam Y is asking, Mr. Barsano, when your GoBabyTrade stock clients traded only SLV, what was their average annual return?
I mean, I could never tell you that. It's whatever silver did. I watched it go from $11 when I
Hmm.
first noticed. I mean, I was watching it for years because I knew someone when I was in nuclear engineering for the government, John the timekeeper. He would go around the shipyard and collect all the time cards, the punch cards, and 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 he used to buy silver at 10.50 an ounce. And so I knew about it then. So I was watching it since then. So since the 80s. And I never saw it below 1050. and I never, and all it does is go up and down, up and down, up and down, and it's just constant free money. I mean, I was just like, so I started telling people about it when it was at 1150 in around 2003 or something, or 2005, somewhere around there. And so a lot of us were just trading SLV in their stock trader. That's it, on 2% moves up and down. It went all the way up to $29, back down to 16, up to 19, back down to 16, up to 22, back down to 18. It was just going up and down, up and down, up and down. It's free money. It's not like you sitting there at home with silver dollars in your drawer. You're missing all the action, man. You're missing literally thousands of trades. All that free money they're throwing at you. So I know people right now that's all they trade is SLV in their stock trader. And they changed it to 3% moves instead of 2% moves. And they watched it go all the way to 100 and then come and all that buying and selling on the way up and then all the way back down to 60. And then I think it's at 75 now, something like that. And, it's just still doing the same thing. It's just going up and down. It's just free money. How everybody doesn't see it, I don't know. And if you're still sitting at home with silver dollars in your drawer, you haven't made a dime.
Well,
I can't tell you the percentage they made. I can tell you, though, that they've rolled over their money dozens of times.
right, right. Okay, well, I could do a quick screen share because I actually am simulating SLV with $50,000. And it would be interesting for people to see what
No, I'm
that.
sorry, Attila. We don't have time.
All right. Wow. While
He's
you're
always saying we're in a hurry.
so I just gave you permission, Attila, to share. In the meantime, everybody look at at the chat. I talked about the private community. Please do join it. It's got great feedback. We do issue special reports and things like that that are value add. So be my guest, our
Can you
guest.
see my
All
screen?
right,
We can.
let's look at this.
Okay, so whoever asked that question, I think it was Sam. I started this on wait a minute, on 10/19/25. So October 19th
Oh, wow.
with
I didn't know
50,
you were doing that.
yeah, with $50,000.
Is it the stock market?
This
What?
is the stock market.
This
That's
is
why it
the
says market close. I've never seen that because I don't
this
have the
is
stock market.
this is the stock trader. So
They
look at,
Imagine if
actually
the crypto market was
closed.
closed. That would there'd probably be the end of the world.
hey, by the
Such
way, remember
peasantry.
earlier we said crypto's 24/7, 365. Look at the stock market.
I've never seen that market
Market
closed.
closed.
What? So it's not doing anything.
It's not doing anything because
Your
it
employee is
closed. It
sleeping.
closed 8 minutes ago.
Yeah, your
Okay,
employee's asleep.
let me give you a bird's eye view here. Since October 19th, which is, let's say, to the middle of November, December, January, February, March, April, so about 6 months ago, we're 6 months and 2 weeks later, and it's taken $8,000 of profits in my sleep. And then here's the particulars, okay? It just took a profit. Look at this. The last time it took a profit was 417. So whoever asked the question about the stock market versus crypto,
10 days.
that's 10 days. No, that's 11, not that's 12 days.
12 even, maybe. Yeah,
right?
today's the 29th. 12 days.
Let's see what happened back in January when silver dropped significantly on January the 29th. It happened. Look at this. It's 120 over here on 127. And here it dropped like a rock. Okay, it was $83 on 129. 129 went back up to 121. Then it dropped to 92, 94. I'm sorry.
No, that's the profits. The price is over here on the left.
Here under price. I'm looking at the wrong thing.
Oh yeah, look at that. It went from 105 down to 70 in a few
105
in
to
a few days.
$70, but it's still making money. $94, 172, 75, 110, 53. So
I have a question. So I see that as of this month, April 2026, Coinbase enables trading of silver through tokenized RWA real world assets. So can we now, like, I guess theoretically or actually trade silver with the no? Did you look
It
into it?
has to be a symbol that they trade, that they allow
Oh,
us to
okay,
trade.
got it. So
Yeah.
this looks like a
But you
perpetual
could get a
futures
stock
thing
trader
there.
and trade it.
You have to get a stock trader and then you could trade it all day long.
It looks like on Coinbase there might be something, but maybe not. Yeah.
And by the way, when I spoke to Scott, who we just spoke to, okay, I showed Scott this and he bought the stock trader and he's doing the same. He's loving this. So, and by the way, folks, if anybody wants to buy the stock trader, all you do is well, actually, you
It's
would
right
need,
on their website. When you go to use Crypto
oh yeah,
Casey's
yeah, you can check,
link,
you get the
you go
same
to the website.
discount is what I was going to say, but you would check stocks instead of crypto.
On the upper right
And what
corner,
does
when
it
you go to
connect
the
to? Like
GoBabyTrade
Fidelity,
website,
Charles Schwab,
Yep.
it says
Trade
switch to
trade
stocks.
station.
TradeStation?
TradeStation is the broker you need.
Got
Yeah.
it.
On the website in the upper right corner, it says switch to stocks.
And folks, Ed, can folks send an email to support at gobabytrade.com and get the particulars of how to connect to or open up a trade station account?
Sure.
Okay,
You could ask
cool.
me anything. You want to ask me how the Iran war is going? I'll
No,
let you know.
no, no,
Yeah,
no.
I
it's
don't know
fascinating.
either.
Ask
We want you
ChatGPT.
to interpret the third, the tertiary thing of the beginning slide we saw. That was very funny. He keeps speculating on what that guy is doing in his front yard.
He's chilling.
Kathy
There's a
J.
lot to be, you could read into that picture,
Mhm.
Hey Ed, Kathy J, who brought you the bucket. By the way, she told me last week that she would have put a whiteboard in the bucket, but it didn't fit.
And a school bus.
Because
That's
I
funny.
thought we were
Wait,
setting
she
our,
did. She does have a school bus.
I thought we were setting our take profits to 5%. Was Ed now talking about 1%? No, that's on
No, the
that,
profit taken is set at 5%.
yeah. No, what he was saying showing was that on the highest trade count, he's showing a back test for 1 year at 3%, but a
Oh
separate
yeah, no. No,
that,
I
that
use the
yeah,
3% on that.
right, right. Okay, Kevon, I am currently
People
set
asked.
I am currently set at 3%, but today I've seen 1% make more trades. I'm considering switching. I don't
If
know.
you switch, can I share my screen again right away? This is
Please
important
do.
if you switch.
We
Please
don't have
do.
time.
We don't have time.
You don't have time because you talked about 3 books nobody needs to read.
Oh,
This is like watching the five on TV, I swear, man. This is
Just
like
don't,
a talk show.
just don't say the view.
All
I'm
right, no, what you
thinking,
want to do if you change your prop to adding to 1%, you notice I've got 60 lots here. Make sure that you might want to set this to like 70 because you want to get that 70, expected trading window down, big enough. Don't do something crazy like put 1% drops and then put, like 24 lots, then you're only going to have a 24% trading window. You don't want to let when you start out, the default is 3% drops per 25 lots. 3 times 25 gives you a 75% trading window. That means from the time you go in, if you're adding on 3% drops 25 times, that means the software will manage your money so that you can trade all the way down to a 75% drop. See, these are normal protection. A 75% drop is reasonable. Like you wouldn't expect Microsoft to go from 400 to 100. I mean, it's just being unrealistic, okay? Or, so you wouldn't expect big drops like that, especially now in the crypto market, the market's already dropped 90%. So the chance of it dropping another 90% from there is pretty slim. But you want to have a good protection so that you can continue trading on a big drop. So you don't want to run out of money on a small drop, and then that's like being a buy and holder, putting all your money in at the top, and then when it drops, you're out of the game because
right,
then you can't trade anymore.
right.
So make sure you raise this number here up sufficiently if you do add on. There's nothing wrong with adding on 1% drops, everybody. As long as you increase this to continue to get at least a 75% drop.
Okay.
trading window.
Thank you, Ed. Okay, so let's finish up the last couple questions. I think there's one left, and that is, with the market slow, should we decrease the time between trades?
Never.
Thank
I
you.
No.
recommend not changing any of the settings ever.
Yeah,
Because
don't.
whenever I was testing it out, I did everything. Everything was really bad.
Yeah, when you start trying to use your own way of thinking, you're better off leaving the default settings alone. This stuff that I'm doing, these changes I'm making are really based on a well-seasoned auto trader that's already there. I mean, I've already been running this auto trader for years. I've already got a ton of inventory here on the left, but if you're just starting out, and you got 3 lots of that one, 7 lots of that one. It's like you leave this trader the way it is.
Yeah.
Really, 3% add on 3% drops, and take profits of 3%. I wouldn't change and anything really. Getting started.
Why are people going to be buying in the next, I would say in the next 1 to 2, maybe 3 years max? Sales are going to start exploding of cars that drive themselves. Why would somebody buy a car that drives itself and you don't are you going to buy a car that drives itself and then hop in the driver's seat and start driving it? No, you bought it because it drives
I
itself.
might.
I mean, Ed
No,
Barsano.
yeah, that's a very interesting topic. I don't know if that's the best analogy right now.
Down the road, right now, we
Down the
can't
road.
fathom stuff any more than my grandmother could fathom buying this bag of potato chips, this nickel bag of potato chips for $2. She could never even think of it. That's why what you just really this auto trader stuff here is really it's so advanced that the population of today is having a hard time grasping it.
I would,
You're going forward, this is the way the world's going to work. Nobody's going to be in there manually trading. Seriously, the
Well, I
world's
mean,
going. And
to exacerbate that point, as Casey said, all the big boys, Wall Street has the automation already. Do you
they
think
are
they
not
did
sitting
that?
there manually trading at all.
My
No
point,
way.
my point exactly. You're buying something. I mean, I don't know. I can't make more time. I can make more money. This whole endeavor is to make your life easier, better, more lucrative, increase your cash flow with high security. All of the things that we talked about at the beginning, the 3 words, automation, cash flow, and safety and security. Don't even consider it if you're going to goof it up.
well, let me speak from a different perspective. Edward Pereira's superpower is his experience in the Matrix 32 years. He knows things that most people have no clue about. My superpower is I know Ed Barsano since 2012. I've seen people blow themselves up because of trying to either outsmart this or they think they could make changes that'll change the behavior of the trader and make them more money. The reason there's one page now of settings and not 10 is so that people can say, okay, everything is optimized, everything is set. If you start making changes from this setting to that setting because you think your changes are going to increase your profits, personally, I think you're asking for it. Leave everything alone. It's optimized already.
Yep.
That's my final
I mean, yeah, the first 9 months that I had it, I changed everything, did everything.
How
And
did that work
everything
you
is
out for
still
you?
really
made
bad.
money.
It's all really bad. Don't touch it.
And you still made
But that's
money.
part of what I do. Like I want to mess with stuff.
You buy it and break it, or try to
Yeah.
break it.
But
Casey
this,
missed
yeah.
the memo.
Huh?
You missed the memo.
Which one?
Well, we
The
didn't know she
memo of
had.
don't touch anything.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
didn't
The
know
memo you
we didn't
said
know
to
she had
don't
the
touch
trader,
anything.
and it's her job
Oh,
to be
good.
skeptical and break it.
Yeah,
Yep.
cool. All right,
So
guys. Well, listen, that's it for the questions. For those of you that are joining us today for the first time, you need to know we're here every Wednesday. This week, we're also here Saturday. So if you want to hear this again, it's not going to be much different other than the questions will be different. And Ed Barsano will be talking less. That's all. That's the
That'll be a
difference.
first.
Oh wait, is he
I'm
not coming
gonna.
on Saturday?
What?
I'm coming on Saturday.
Oh, okay. Why is he talking less?
I'm not going to talk less. He's
Okay,
dreaming.
that was a joke. Got it.
He's
I
dreaming.
was like, wait, why?
Yeah, I just put in. I just put in as you guys are beating each other up. I just put in Casey's discount link again. Her YouTube channel, in case you don't follow her, you've been living under a rock. And then the custom video that she did talking specifically to her experience this past. I think it was a couple of days ago. She released it. I provided that as well. I've also provided the next link. The Zoom link is the registration link for Saturday, and then on Wednesdays and going into Saturdays, use those same links, and you're able to register for whichever session you want to attend. All, both, none. That's fine.
All right.
Okay. I'm also going to put in again. Maybe somebody missed it before. Is do yourself a favor and join our community. We are all we're all a product of the product. We all use it. We all benefit from it. Ed Barsano, Crypto Casey, Attila, and I, and a couple of hundred of our closest friends, some of which are here, are in the community. Please join it. It's free for now.
Yeah,
What
basically,
else can I give you? Our YouTube channel. If you want to see the replay and not miss it, like I said, Zoom is sometimes squirrely and sends you the wrong one. Here is our YouTube channel, and that's it.
Nice. We wrapped it up before.
Timothy says I haven't even bought the system yet, so there's no settings for me to mess up. Hey,
that is definitely a plus.
but learn your lesson.
pull the trigger, guys. All I could say is this works. It's not a matter of will it work, can it work, is it going to work for me? It's been working 25, 26 years. It's solid. It works. It's a lifetime trader. There's no guarantee it's going to take a profit every single day. It's market dependent. But overall, the course of each month and the course of each year, you will be making money autonomously, robotically, without doing anything. So we appreciate everybody being here. Ed Barsano, any final words? Other than your
Go Navy.
Yeah.
Go Navy.
Crypto Casey?
Go where?
I said go Navy. I was just trying to.
Thanks.
Be safe out there.
Be safe,
I'll
everybody.
see you guys this weekend.
We appreciate everybody's support.
See you on Saturday if you guys want to come back.
Yep.
Bring your friends. Bring your friends.
Bring your friends, and you have to re-register. So we appreciate everybody. Go forth and multiply your money with GoBabyTrade.
And I guess I get the last word.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you. See you Saturday.
Perfect.
Hope this was helpful for you. You'll probably, sometimes we move pretty fast. We cover a lot in the 3 hours, just short of 3 hours, but you'll get the recording. If you have any questions, go back through it. Stay in touch with us. If you buy the trader, great. If you don't buy the trader, still stay in touch with us. Continue to learn our platforms, Crypto Casey's knowledge, the trader, the financial intelligence for you will all provide value, most of which we give you for free. This is collectively over 100 years worth of knowledge. Just generally what the Matrix has to say about keeping you poor, take advantage of, employ, learn. Trust me, you will thank us. So with that.
Mark Finney is saying, I don't see GoBabyTrade on the website. I don't know what website he's talking about. I really don't know. There's a link in the chat that was put in several times today.
Yep, I'll put it in again.
Yeah, put it in
Go
real
to
quick.
GoBabyTrade.com.
Mark, you want to click on Crypto Casey's link if you want to purchase the trader. There's no website to go to. You just click on the link.
Maybe he went to financial intelligence.
That's
Possibly.
right there.
I just put it in the.
Here it is.
All you have to do is click on it. GoBabyTrade.com/Crypto Casey.
Literally, that's the link. Yep.
Yeah, and with that, anybody that needs any help, we're very generous with our time. However, let me qualify that. Don't misuse our time, but you're welcome to request some time with us. Attila, me, anybody will jump on. Ed Barsano. I am not at liberty to schedule Crypto Casey's time, but you can get into the free community, the link that I posted, and you can post questions for all of us, some of us, one of us. We're here to help you. You know, we're not trying to sell you something. We're in the life-changing business, but we're also sharing and employing you to really go look at what this opportunity brings. I mean,
Edward,
unless you can bring us something that works automatically while you sleep. You saw plenty of examples of how this thing operates. If you find something that works better, makes more money, please let us know.
yeah, without gambling, by the way.
Without gambling.
Yep.
Right.
Edward, you didn't mention anything about, you know, the time you get to spend with your family
Oh,
that you
yeah.
didn't
Well,
have. That,
thank
you
you.
know,
Let me touch
I
on
always
that.
thought that felt nice and warm, the warm fuzzies, going
Well, it did.
swimming, going
Listen, you know,
fishing.
I worked just like the trader for 32 years. I worked and was on call 32 years, 24/7, 365, serving as many people in my country as I could. Guess what I don't do anymore? I now get to choose to serve you in the way that allows me to maximize your benefit and minimize my time, which is the only thing I cannot buy back. I'm 61 years old with an 11-year-old. Keeps me pretty busy. As a matter of fact, we're off to soccer in 15 minutes. What does this do for you? It buys back your time and maximizes whatever the crypto market will give you. And by the way, we said it once before, we'll say it again. We are so early. We are in the, as I like to say, we're in the dinosaur age of this space when the rug gets pulled on the financial debt-based system and we all go into the fully institutionally into an asset-based system. Guess what? You have so far of a head start. Scott made great comments. A lot of people are experiencing the opportunity to outrun the fake system that you have been born into. You, your parents, and their parents, because it's not made for you to prosper. This is.
Amen to that. Well said.
Nice.
All right, guys. We'll see you Saturday. If not,
Yep.
if not,
Very good. And on three, what do we do?
bye for now.
Everybody.
Be
Bye for now. Be safe out there. Go
All
Nick.
right.
Thanks, everybody.
Take
Bye.
care.
We
Okay.
love you and appreciate you. Come back and see us.
For sure.
Bye.
See you guys.